Hey, hey, hey. No, Hezekiah is not my actual name. I would not use my real name. Uh, yeah. um, anyway, thank you guys for coming out. I know it's really late to be starting a live feed, but well, like some of you are in Europe and it's not that late. But for me, I wanted to do something live for like a couple days now, but like all these things kept happening and happening, and I couldn't. And I was like, look, just because it's late, every day it's like I have some reason not to go live, so I gotta. I'm not gonna let it stop me this time. I'm just gonna do it and see what happens. And well, so far I got some people here, and yeah. So hello, welcome to the channel. Um, as far as People asking about the history of my name. Yeah, well, when I first started this channel, I've had this channel forever. I just started doing this whole Frauditor thing relatively recently. Um, but it started because I wanted a YouTube channel, and I was real heavy into World of Warcraft at the time, and that was what I called my character. So I thought, well, maybe it'll be like a gaming channel, and I'll just call it that. And then it stuck with me, and now, all this time later, that's what everyone knows me as. So that's what it is. Oh, hello, welcome. So, like I was saying, I kind of wanted to do like a week of review, all the stuff I saw that's been going on this week. I try to do it every week, but like I said, um, so much going on in life and things happening. I never had time to go live. I did post a new video. If you guys haven't watched it yet, it's Amagansett Press One. I tried to edit it like it was a comic book story being told. Me, Ezokai versus Amagansett Press. And just now, right before I went live, I actually saw that Rogue Nation was live, and he had everybody in there with him. He had Auditing Erie County, he had Cache Valley Transparency, like the whole crew was there. So I decided to check out what they were doing, and at one point, they acknowledged me. They said, "Oh, he's just a troll. Don't worry about him." And it's like, yeah, of course. And then they started like insulting our channels and what we do and everything because they can't make a decent argument. They're just gonna, right? DB Cooper, the one ball know it all, should be locked up. DB Cooper, I know who you're talking about, but the real one, they should find him too. I want to find that briefcase with all that money he took. See where he put it. So anyway, Frauditing we can review our top story this week. For those of you who didn't know, News Now Patrick, who we haven't seen in a while, is in jail. Well, he's not in jail. He got out on bond. It was only $100 bond. But he got in trouble. Guess what he got arrested for? Domestic violence again. Amazing how these people, a lot of them have a tendency to actually be real criminals. Wow, what a mind-blowing idea that is, huh? So this not QAnon, but Anon One made a little video about it. Just saw the report. Yeah, that's let's see. Oh, so you guys have all seen that one already? Yeah, I was thinking about showing the video. The problem is that Anon One, I like him. I like his videos, but like in the PayPal Patty one he posted, he got the paperwork from Patty's arrest and he reads it, which is fine, but he reads it really slow. And it, in fact, I was watching AMG covered it, and she actually paused his video and she read it just because it was going too slow, which is fine. I'm not, trying to diss Anon One or whatever, but the point was that, and for those of you who don't know, apparently, according to the police report, the trial hasn't happened yet, so we don't know. But the accusation is that his ex-girlfriend, the one that he got arrested before for beating, was at his house, and they were talking, and then he tried to call his new girlfriend on his ex-girlfriend's phone. She tried to snatch the phone from him or something, and then he elbowed her in the face. And then when she called 911 to get the cops to arrest him, he tried to stop her from making the call. And then that was the big thing. Like, the charge wasn't just the domestic, but, the fact that he was stopping her from calling 911 to protect her from him. So he was undercharged. However, he was, see, DB Cooper knows exactly what I'm talking about. But so, yeah, he's in some good trouble. So that's nice to finally see that there might be something going on with that. And so that was what was going on with him. And then another thing I wanted to talk about, I was watching this the other day. It was a live stream, and I got two I wanted to show. this is, I know, we're all sick of hearing about delete laws, Chile, whatever. But the reason why we all keep going after him and we never stop talking about him is because he never stops giving us stuff to talk about. The guy's insane. So, what I'm going to show now is a video from his live feed from yesterday. And I'm going to pick it up right at the part where there's some. Okay, so let me go back and put a little backstory so you guys see where we're coming from before I play this. So, he goes to the city hall and there's a dude there. And he leaves like around 4 o'clock. They close the well, not they close at 4, but he leaves around 4 p.m. And he just happens to notice that this other guy leaves at the same time. So then the next day he goes back to the same building. The same guy is there because the guy works there, and the guy gets off every day at 4. So when Chili leaves around 4 o'clock, and this guy leaves at the same time, Chili decides that he's being followed, and this guy's following him. So here I'm going to start the video where he actually goes up to this guy and accuses him of following him. What I wanted to do with it was kind of like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the movie Bowfinger, where they told the one actor that he was in a movie, but didn't tell the other people they were in the movie. He told the one actor, oh, these guys are actors, just, improvise stuff. So I was going to try and do sort of a takeoff on that. Like Chili thinks he's in a movie and that everybody else are actors, but they have no idea what the hell he's talking about. So I'm going to show this to you and tell me if you think that this guy is even crazier than we thought, what he ends up doing with this. This is insane. Let's see, where is it? Here we go. Check this out. Let me get it on the screen for you. Oh, yeah, it's there. Okay. Oh, no, wait, that's the wrong one. That's actually the next one I'm going to show, which is him that night. Because he still thinks he's being followed after this. But that's not the one I wanted to start with. That's the one that comes after. This is during the day, and then the next one I'm going to show is that night. That same night, yesterday night. So now let's pull the right one up. Is this the one? Yeah, that's the one. All right, check this out. This guy is such a lunatic.
I am here in Columbus, Ohio, and I am here to say that the people are ready for change. The people are ready for a transparent government, that we all get to see what these people called peace officers, because that's what they sign up to be, that peace officers have to have a 360 camera on them at all times.
What's up, Weeds Cador?
Their headsets go to 2 different agencies, one called the Montesquieu and one called Transparency. And then you get a copy of any video if you were to be arrested. Let me get off my soapbox.
We're pretty much just starting. I talked about PayPal Patty getting arrested, and now we're talking about on this live feed how this guy.
They're all watching me.
They're all watching me. See how paranoid this guy is? Now watch. There's going to be a random dude walking outside, and he's going to decide the guy's a spy.
Don't ask for change in America. Don't you dare ask for change in our country. If you ask for change, they're going to know who you are before you come in the door. That guy knew who I was. I never saw him. He was never in the room.
Yeah, it's not because you keep going to town in the same building and harassing everyone and filming it. That's not why they know you.
Dude, I'm sorry. I tried to get that video done. I couldn't get it done till late last night. And then this morning, just so you know, I had to alter the video because there was things in there that I didn't project properly, and I wanted to project them properly.
You've never projected anything
properly. So this is downtown Columbus.
Except for your insanity.
This is downtown Columbus, Ohio. I mean, this is where the money is going, guys. This is where this is the epicenter of capitalism.
Oh, here he comes. Watch this guy.
Oh man.
Now watch how Chili reacts to this dude.
Are you familiar with the 2020 federal badge ID rule? Are you a federal officer?
No, I'm not.
Okay. I saw you 2 days ago, though. You were behind me a couple days ago.
Yeah, you were in the same building. He works there.
Oh, you work in the building? So you don't have a federal badge ID number?
Now watch this. While he's accusing this guy of following him. What's up, Susie? Now, who's following who?
Where's the best coffee shop around here? Where do you go? You go to Starbucks? You go to Coffee Bean? What's your favorite coffee shop? I saw the other day you were drinking a coffee, and you're drinking a coffee again today. What's your favorite coffee shop? Where do you like to have coffee at? Anywhere. I mean, what's your favorite though? Just because I want people to know who you are and that you work here. If I'm a citizen, so I'm a. Where do you go for coffee though?
Yep, this is the one not here.
So where do you get your coffee?
I really don't want you walking next to me. I don't know who you are.
Oh, my name's Castro. I have a channel called Delete Laws. I'm an investigative journalist. What I do is corruption. That's what I do for a living. I expose government corruption. And this is a public street, so I'm not harassing you. I'm simply talking to someone who said they work inside of a building that I just was, and you said...
Okay, so real quick, before I get back into it, apparently some people have already seen this. Yes, so watch what happens. First of all, we just watched. He followed this guy. He's accusing this guy of following him, but he followed this guy. We just watched him follow this guy. Then, when the guy turns the corner... You guys aren't going to believe this. If you haven't seen this yet, Chili literally runs, starts doing sprints around the block to try and catch the guy coming back around to follow him. And then when the guy's not there, he's like, well, it's because they're watching my live feed and they're spying on me, and they told him not to go that way. I mean, this guy's so delusional. It's insane.
Sat behind me the other day, so I just want people to know your face and know who you are. Do you want to tell me your name or anything?
I don't have to.
No, you don't have to, but do you want to? Do you want to identify yourself?
No, I don't. I want you to leave me alone.
Okay, I'm leaving you alone. I just asked you where you get your coffee, that's all. You're not an undercover cop or an undercover agent? You're not? Because, I mean, I walked out that building and you sat behind me the other day, and now you walked out when I walked out. And I'm big on transparency. I'm not sure if you know about my channel. Did you watch any of the videos? Are you investigating me right now? You follow me?
You're following him, literally.
Out. Okay. He's a real talkative guy. Take a screenshot just so we can see if we can identify this guy, because he's definitely following me. Definitely. 100%. Where are you heading?
See, it's like Chili thinks he's in a movie.
Or just walking out because I walked out. Where are you going?
But only they don't know they're in a movie.
I mean, you look like a tough guy, man. I wouldn't want to tangle with you. I'm just wondering where you're going. Okay. I'm really glad we had this opportunity.
How about none of your business, Chili?
That way later, if you can get me in torture cuffs, you can remember this moment. Where'd you get the coffee? Okay. Okay. You have a good day.
Now watch. He's going to run around the block to catch this guy come around the other corner. And when he doesn't catch him, oh, it's insane.
I guess he's just taking a walk around the block.
No,
he's not coming to see where I'm parked or get a picture of my car.
No, he's
not following me.
Nope.
He was the same guy that sat down behind me the other day, but that's not him. Let's have a good time. You ready? Let's do something right here.
I love this. He runs around the block to prove this guy's following him, and when he doesn't see the guy, he blames his spy bosses for watching his live stream and telling the guy not to meet him.
They'll investigate you.
No, they're investigating you because of everything you've been doing in Ohio, and you're claiming to run for governor in Ohio. So you're someone that they're going to want to keep an eye on. I don't believe this guy was following you, but the idea that the state of Ohio is after you, duh. See him running, trying to catch up with this guy, and he never does because the guy's not following him. When I was watching this live, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It's like this guy really thinks that life is a movie and he's the star. Look at him. Look at him. He's legitimately running down the street trying to catch this guy that he says is following him. And look at how pissed he looks. He's not there, Chili, because you're an idiot and you're crazy and paranoid.
There's our guy right there.
Nope, that's not him. Anyway, so now he's going to run around some more and some more and some more, trying to catch this guy. And like I said, he never does. And then he can't catch the guy to prove the guy was stalking him. So he comes up with an excuse and says, oh, well, they must be watching my live feed and told them not to turn that way because they knew where I was. But it doesn't end there. It does not end there. Because that same night, he decides that he's still being followed. He's in a parking lot. And again, a little backstory. He's driving in a parking lot, talking on his phone like he always does while he's driving. And he goes to pull out. But when you turn that way, it looks like there's an exit, but it turns out there isn't. So you have to pull back. Well, some other guy was doing the same thing. So now watch how he handles that. This guy is so insane and paranoid at this point. I'm afraid he's going to become dangerous. Seriously, oh, man. Check this out. This is later that same night. All right, let's see.
Are you following me?
No, I just.
It seems like I went the way you followed me, and then you came back around, and then you followed me again. Why are you following me?
There's no exit there.
Okay.
You made the same mistake that you did.
Okay. I didn't make a mistake. I was seeing if you were following me.
Okay, well.
That's what I was doing. It's okay.
Didn't know what
Just,
the
I
camera
mean, it's all right. My line of work. You just have to be careful what's going on around you.
All right.
Nice truck.
Have a good night.
Take care.
So he posted that video as being followed in Youngstown, Ohio. Like he's just convinced that everybody's out to get him. And again, to a certain extent, he's right. He's been causing such a major ruckus in Ohio that there are people that are wondering what the heck this guy's doing and why he keeps returning to town and filming everything and harassing everybody and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it makes sense, but it doesn't. It like the one thing he was right about earlier, before he started saying all these guys were following him, he went into this building and everyone in the building knew who he was. He's like, well, how do these people know who I am if they're not spying on me? Because you're causing a ruckus in their town. You were just in that building the day before. Like, you just keep coming in and out and in and out and causing a ruckus and causing, of course they're going to know who you are. That's not because they're after you or they're following you. You're paranoid, schizophrenic nutbag. Speaking of larger than I-95, did all the auditors at the library get trespassed? Oh, that was the last thing I covered on live, was when that was happening. Ultimately, nothing happened because they had been to the library a couple times. They were trespassed from the library already, but the cops basically realized that these guys are just idiots that want police interaction. That's their whole purpose. So they were like, we're not even going to bother with it. If just leave them alone and then they'll leave, which is insane because they just threatened to come back. I don't think they did though. Oh, speaking of like YouTube supporting these guys and this and that. All right. So like I was saying, before I came on live tonight, I was watching Rogue Nation's live stream. And like I said, he had tons of auditors in there. He had Auditing Erie County. He had Cache Valley Transparency. He had the whole nine. And they mentioned that a lot of their videos have been getting taken down because, and this is what we always talk about, I wonder what would happen if one of the citizens in the video reported to YouTube that they were using their image for money. Well, guess what? It turns out that works. They were on this live stream complaining about how they keep getting videos taken down from people complaining about using their image for money when they didn't give them permission to. So it does work. So there is some, YouTube does have some control over that. Yeah, DB, that's a huge part to me of the whole problem with these guys is the fact that they go out of their way to do things that they know, like that their goal, right, is to try and get these negative interactions from the cops to film, and the cops are being told to ignore it and to ignore them. And when that happens, that's why they have to keep pushing harder and harder and harder to get negative police interactions. And that's why they keep getting ruder and ruder and crazier, because they're trying to cause that, because that's what gets them the clicks and views. But I don't know. Yeah, Abby, that's another reason why I've decided to continue covering Chili, because so many people are covering him now, especially Blue Bacon and all these other guys, Masshole, that I'm like, maybe I'm going to leave. And then I see that, and it's like, this dude's so off the wire. It's getting worse. He's getting more and more far out there. And his brain is just, I got some ginger ale. But now, let's take a look at one of his good friends. So just today, Accountability for All, who apparently him and Chili are lovers or something. I don't know what's going on with those two. He posted a video today, and I wanted to show the front part of it because this is just another example of the way these guys are. Now, again, a little backstory before I play this. So Accountability for All and whoever he's with, I don't remember his name. I don't care. There's like they're in a place. I don't know what type of place this is, but they have like a phone outside that you could use to call the cops. So they call the cops on themselves, okay, because they wanted some information. That's what they said to the operator on the phone. And here's how they react when the cops show up to them calling the cops, right? He calls the cops, and this is what he does when the cops show up.
On, guys, at the Lee County Sheriff's Substation. Conducting a First Amendment audit. I'm out of breath because I ran. You want to get that light off me?
It's nighttime. That's why he's got a flashlight, so you can see.
So you want to play dick? You can get that light off me.
Okay, turn your light off.
No, I'm good. You guys have FOIA request forms and complaint forms?
They're going to have those on them?
No.
Of course not.
FOIA request and complaint forms.
They're supposed to carry
form.
everything in the world
Freedom
in
of
their car at all
Information Act?
times.
No, you do that downtown.
So why'd you come all the way here if you couldn't do that for us?
Where did you call from?
That call box?
That's why we're here.
Okay, well, we told them what we needed.
Okay. If you want to do a records request, you do that with our public information.
Okay, so they sent you all the way down here for something you couldn't help us with?
Yeah.
Okay, so I asked him to turn his light off, so you turn your light on?
Yeah.
Okay, real quick, I see some people just joined us. I've been doing a little Frauditor weekend review. I opened up with the fact that PayPal Patty got arrested for domestic once again. And then I showed the clip of Chili on a live stream accusing a random person of following him when he was the one that was following the random person, and then literally started chasing the guy around the building trying to prove he was following him. And when he realized the guy wasn't, he decided that it was because the spy network was watching his live feed and monitoring where he was to tell the guy not to turn there. And then later on that night, he flagged down some guy in a truck and said, "Stop following me. I know you're following me." So he's nuts. And now I'm showing a video that Accountability for All just posted, where he called the cops, and then when the cops showed up, he starts giving them a hard time for showing up. And it's like, you called the cops. That's why they showed up. And he's like, well, I just called to ask you for a FOIA request. Like, cops have paperwork in their car. Like, you think it's not unreasonable to, because if every single time any possible person might request some form of paperwork, they have to have a filing cabinet with literally every possible paperwork someone could have. Like, it's insane the way this guy responds to the cops coming when he's the one who called the cops to come. I'll rewind it a little bit for the people who just joined us. So again, Josh Abrams calls the cops on himself, and this is how he reacts when they show up. And he's got a big problem with the flashlights, even though it's nighttime.
Conducting a First Amendment audit. I'm out of breath because I ran. You want to get that light off me? Oh, so you want to play dick? You can get that light off me.
Okay, turn your light off.
No, I'm good. You guys have FOIA request forms and complaint forms? No.
What do
So,
you need?
FOIA request and complaint forms.
FOIA request.
Records request form. Freedom of Information Act.
No, you do that downtown.
So, why'd you come all the way here if you couldn't do that for us?
Where did you call from?
That call box?
That's why we're here.
Okay, well, we told them what we needed.
Okay. You want to do a records request? You do that with our public information.
Okay, so they sent you all the way down here for something you couldn't help us with?
Yeah.
Okay, so I asked him to turn his light off, so you turn your light on?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the
actually,
point of
you're
that?
shining the light on my face.
Yeah, that's all right. So we
Yeah,
got more
'cause
lights
it's
than you do.
nighttime. What if you're an active shooter? It's not like
Oh, no,
there
I'm just
haven't
gonna
been a
film
lot
now.
of mass shootings recently,
What's
just
your name
in the
and badge
last
number?
week, for crying out loud.
Mike DeRuki. Wow, you guys love your flashlights. I should have brought my flashlight.
Yeah, it's nighttime.
Are you the supervisor? No, we're not trying to bait you guys. We were just asking a general question. But if you want
Can
to
you-
feel that we're baiting you,
What are
then
you looking
obviously
at?
you have a guilty conscience.
If you feel, wait a minute,
What's that?
what did he just say?
You too.
I missed that part earlier. If you think we're baiting you, then you must have a guilty conscience. Is that what he says?
We're not trying to bait you guys. We were just asking a general question. But if you want
Can
to
you-
feel that we're baiting you,
What are
then
you looking
obviously
at?
you have a guilty conscience.
Okay. Wait a minute. If you feel like we're baiting you, then you must have a guilty conscience. Okay, so calling the cops on yourself so you could audit them is not baiting? Holy crap. And their fans eat this crap up. They yell at me and call me a troll. These guys are trolling the cops.
What's that? You too. Are you the supervisor? I need his ID number. All right, he's required to for the policy. So are you going to stand up?
Oh, you guys are 10-8? You're all clear? All right, see you later, man. See you later.
Where's the supervisor? What are you guys doing?
We don't answer questions.
We don't answer questions. You called the cops on yourself. They're there because you called them.
It says information, right? It says information right on it, man. Get out of here. Beat it, bro. You're all set. So they have an indecent exposure, right? They have a trespassing. But for here, we're doing information. So you guys come 3 cruises deep and shine lights in people's faces for information? That's how you treat citizens?
Social distancing.
Yeah, 6 feet.
Social distancing, buddy.
6 feet.
I'm getting into my vehicle. All right.
6 feet.
You can be 6 feet.
Social distancing.
Social distancing, man.
Okay, so this is almost over. But before I show the very last bit, I want to point something else out that I noticed about this as well. So Oh. First of all, that's one of the things I want to get into next is the whole idea of these guys wasting police time, right? And then accusing them of wasting tax dollars on us when you called the cops on yourself. They showed up because you called them. You're wasting their time. And as soon as you said, I need a FOIA request, and they said, oh, well, you could go downtown and get that, then they did what they're supposed to do. They gave you the information you were requesting. At that point, you could have said, oh, okay, thank you, sir. And he would have left. But instead, you keep yapping at him and yapping at him and yapping at him. And you're like, oh, and you're sending all these cops for me? Well, look at all these calls you got. And they said, here's where you get your FOIA request. Oh, okay, done. What's the problem? Why is there still an issue? Now, wait till you hear what he says to this cop as the cop's leaving. Once again, to sell it to his subscribers that the cop's leaving because he told him to. And of course, his fans in the comments eat it up. Yeah, look at that dirty pig running away because you told him to.
So you have an indecent exposure, you have a trespassing, and you come 3 deep and shine lights in our faces because we want information?
Well, I don't understand. Firstly, I don't understand what information you're looking for.
It's what's your call purpose for? What's your call purpose for? Well, he left you here, so now you're dealing with me.
Information.
Okay, so do you normally come 3 deep? No, you're done when I tell you you're done. Do you understand that? You work for me. So how about this? Let's try this. You'll close your mouth and speak when spoken to. Next, I'll give you a treat if you sit, stay, and roll over. Get out of my building and parking lot because we want information.
Well, I don't understand. Firstly, I don't understand what information you're looking for.
It's what's your call purpose for? What's your call purpose for? Well, he left you here, so now you're dealing with me.
Information.
Okay, so do you normally come 3 deep? No, you're done when I tell you you're done. Do you understand that? You work for me. So how about this? Let's try this. You'll close your mouth and speak when spoken to. Next, I'll give you a treat if you sit, stay, and roll over. Get out of my building and parking lot.
Have a better night, right?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, he said that. Like, and again, you read the comments on these videos, and one, his fans eat it up. Like, oh, I can't believe that you told that cop to leave, and he ran away and left because you told him to. 2, they're telling him, they're encouraging him, telling him how hilarious that ending was, how he's so brilliant, coming up with such a funny thing to say to a cop. Like, they think it's hilarious when he talks to them like that, and they encourage him to do it more. Oh, man. Like I always say to these guys, if you actually listen to their explanation when they try to explain why they do what they do, to me, it's exactly the same thing as saying, technically, cheating on your significant other, if you're married, isn't illegal. So I'm going to educate her by cheating on her. That'll teach her that it's not illegal to cheat. Like, it's not illegal to swear at a cop, so I'm going to swear at him to teach him that it's not illegal. Like, obviously they know it's not, because you guys would get arrested every time. You rarely get arrested, and when you do, it's never for filming. It's always for trespassing. It's never for what you say, but you constantly sell it as a First Amendment audit because you're allowed to, yes, clout and YouTube money. Anyway, like I was saying, so that brings me back to the other thing I wanted to cover that I saw this week. That, well, actually, this video is a little older, but I just first saw it this week. Okay. Now, Uncle Artie, see this guy. All right. He won't stop harassing me. How dare you give me a wrench? Artie, you got to stop stalking and harassing me, dag nabbit. I know you. I know what you're up to. I saw what you did last week. I was there. No, me and Artie are totally cool. He's a good guy. Uncle Artie, he's funny. And, you know, I always mess with him. He messes with me. We have fun with each other. Yeah, he's talking about my book. See, I didn't advertise my book yet. That's my book that I wrote. Here, wait, let me see if I could get a better shot of it for anyone who doesn't know. I wrote a book called The Frauditor's Handbook. And as actually right now, and I mean, I don't know time wise when this is going to happen, but I haven't heard anything saying I can't say this, so I'm going to say it right now. Kick is recording an audiobook version of this for me that'll officially be released eventually. This is the Frauditor's Handbook. It's a great book. Uncle Artie read it on his channel. Kick is reading it on his. So if you want to check that out, also, I do have some merch. I got the T-shirt. There's no need to fear. Hezekiah is here. So there's my little plug for my stuff since Turd Snurdly brought it up. That's right. Turd read it. It wasn't Uncle Artie. It was Turd Snurdly with his Devo helmet, which I thought was brilliant because I love Devo. And yeah, that was fun stuff. His little skeleton mask. What did you do with that book? It looked like you used it as a diaper or something. It was all tore up, but I thought that was hilarious. So that's cool. Anyway, the other video I wanted to talk about today was, and also Uncle Artie agreed because this will be something completely different, but during football season I do a character called the super fan because I like the Bears. So he has the big Chicago accent, then he wears the Bears hat and everything else. And Artie agreed to do a couple game reviews with me as a guest. Oh, thank you so much. F the fraudsters. That's right. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, they're terrible, man. And these guys just keep driving me more and more crazy because they keep pushing the boundaries further and further. And it just gets worse and worse every time. So today I was watching a live stream on Rogue Nation's channel, and he had Cash Valley as a guest on there. And he actually had a video just the other day that I wanted to cover. So I just wanted to go over this a little bit. So as we all know, these guys all love to talk about how the government wastes all of our tax dollars on coming out to do this and do that and do the other thing, blah, 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 blah. But I say they're the ones that are wasting the money, okay? Cash Valley transparency, what this guy loves to do is, like they all do, he likes to put in his FOIA requests and this and that and the other thing, but he likes to pay in all change. He thinks it's hilarious, and his fans love it. They think he's so funny paying in change for this stuff all the time. But to me, it's like, okay, you talk about wasting taxpayers' money. How about the fact that you're taking all of these government employees away from their jobs so they can sit and waste their day counting your change? That's how you increase our freedom and our rights, by making our tax dollars go to Keith. You're not really late. I mean, I covered PayPal Patty got arrested for domestic abuse. I covered Chili saw some random guy outside and decided the guy was a spy that was following him and literally ran sprints chasing him around. I just got done doing accountability for all, calling the cops on himself and then yelling at the cops for coming out and coming after him, even though he's the one who called the cops to come there. And now I'm covering Cash Valley transparency, complaining about government officials wasting taxpayers' money while he pays in all change. He does FOIA requests and stuff and then pays in all change on purpose so that he will waste taxpayer money by making all of the city employees have to stop and count his change. I'm about to show that right now. And I mean, he does this all the time. This is just the most recent video he did of it. But I mean, this is like his MO. That's his thing, right? Like all these guys always do their FOIA things, but he always pays with change because he's so cute. And his fans love it. They think he's great. They can't get enough of this garbage. Wasting taxpayer money. All right, let's see. All right, here we go.
Files, and then we'll take your money.
There's my $5.
We're not taking it like that.
Sure you are.
It's not.
Yep. I can pay you any way that I want to pay you.
Okay,
And that's how you're taking it.
So you can
That's how you're taking
bring
it.
in piles of dollars.
I want my records request now. I have paid you your money.
You're not getting it like that.
So they're refusing to give me my records request when the money is sitting right there for them. Everybody, welcome back to Cache Valley Transparency, to another video.
And again, he does this
Today,
all the time.
I
Just
am
like
going
all of
into
them,
the
he
Logan
makes
Police
FOIA
Department
requests just to make them.
to pay for a records request that I have. I did a records request on the bolo they have on me. I would be paying my $5 fee in pennies.
Oh, it's
So,
hilarious. And again, he does this
We'll see
all
what they
the
have
time.
to say about that. They wanted me to call or email my credit card number in, and yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, we should FOIA request all of their information. See how they like it. I want to like audit these guys' houses. Like just stand in front of their house with the camera all day until they come out. What are you doing? Oh, my First Amendment. That's what I'm doing. How do you like it?
I'm here to pick up my records request.
Oh, you say it was ready?
Yep. Christy did.
And I called him out on this in the chat. And his fans are such insane idiots. Their big excuse
2,000 years later.
Their big excuse for doing this, for
I
supporting
got an
him
email
doing
from
it,
Christy
is that
yesterday.
well, they don't do any
She emailed
work,
me
so you
yesterday.
paying by change is making them
It's on my phone.
earn
I'm not
their
gonna
money.
stop recording you guys.
No, it's making them waste their time. Now, it's not this video. I didn't look at which one I picked before I picked it. I just picked a random one because, like I said, he does this all the time. But the specific one I wanted to show is there's a line of people waiting behind him that are not getting service, right? Service that our tax dollars are paying for because they're all too busy counting this guy's change, and his fans think it's great. They think it's hilarious. They think it's wonderful.
Files, and then we'll take your money.
There's my $5.
We're not taking it like that.
Sure you are.
It's not.
Yep. I can pay you any way that I want to pay you.
Okay,
And that's how you're taking it.
So you can
That's how you're taking it.
bring in piles of dollars.
I want my records request now. I have paid you your money.
You're not getting it like that.
So they're refusing to give me my records request when the money is sitting right there for them.
Okay, so
Refusing.
anyway, that's just an example of him doing what he
6
does.
hours later.
So there's that, but I'm seeing some stuff in the chat that I wanted to talk about. I would love if to be able to actually audit auditors, like to actually physically go out there and audit auditors. I have it all mapped out in my head too, because I know them so well. I literally wrote a book about it. I know their arguments so well that I know I'd be able to turn the tongue fu right back on them and just go right back at them. You know, they tell me I'm standing too close. What law is it that says how far I have to stand from you? Well, if they say, well, 6 feet thing, that's not a law. That's an ordinance. If they, say, well, you can't do that. Hey, I'm in a public place. I could record all I want. I would just turn it on them and use all their excuses on them. But one, I don't have the resources money-wise to be able to travel all over doing that. And two, and this is more important, they don't want that to happen. Although they're all for accountability and transparency, they don't want to be accounted for. They don't want to be transparent. They all work in a network. Especially after today. Tonight, like I said, I was in Rogue Nation's live chat, and Cache Valley was there, and Erie County was there, and they were all there. And whenever I go on Chili's Lives, Accountability for All is there. All these other guys, they all support each other. They all work together, and they have a network, and they only contact each other directly. There's no way that we will ever be able to know where they're going to be before they show up, so that we can make sure that we show up there to audit them. They only text each other directly. And, okay, I'm going to be here at this time. Meet me there. And then they meet at the place, and then they go do their audit. What we need is a mole. If we could find a mole that could get inside with them and let us know where they're going to be before they be there, so we can audit them, that would be beautiful. That would be great. But I mean, the only person I could even begin to think of who might be interested would be Direct D, but I do not think he would do that. I think he'd do that to Chili because he doesn't like Chili. But all the other guys, I don't know. I think he would, like you said, we should do public records requests on these idiots. I doxed the White House. Yeah. I can be a mole. Yeah, we'd have to create a fake account, but then you'd have to start doing audits to gain their trust. I couldn't do that. I would just love to be able to catch one of these guys and audit the auditors. Like to just make my whole thing being me auditing them. That would be so brilliant. Oh, I would love to do that. I would love to do that. Yeah, getting the address of the White House isn't hard to do. I think that's why Uncle Artie was being silly. It all depends on who's talking. When Uncle Artie talks, you can't take anything he says seriously, but that's a character he plays. So that's almost like I don't know why, but that reminded me of the Blues Brothers when they gave the address to Wrigley Field. And they're like, oh, let's go. And they end up at Wrigley. They're like, what the heck? It's like everyone knows that address. It's not hard to find. Let's see. I'm a better actor than Chili. Dude, I don't know if you saw The Room, but that guy's a better actor than Chili. I wonder if I can screen share it. Hold on. I just had an idea, but I don't know if it's going to work. Let me see. Because I actually have some of Chili's acting, but I don't know if I have it on here that I could share it. But let me see. And I'm only saying that because of copyright. I know I have it, but I mean, I don't know if I can get it on the screen, if it'll let me share it. Let me see. Because I used a clip of it in one of my videos, but I had to literally like hold my phone up to the screen and film it. And I hate doing that. That's so cheesy and cheap looking. Chili does that all the time. He even does that with his own videos. Oh, what do we got here? Thank you so much. These guys are bad people. The people just pretend to fight against our mothers and sisters just trying to do their jobs. Yes, that's one of the reasons why I've been coming down so hard on them lately. Like in the beginning, when it was just like cop watching and post offices, like, yeah, I didn't like that either. But first of all, the post office thing is just stupid because they know that nobody memorizes Poster 7. So that's why they decided to do the post office thing, because it's easy. And then the cop watching thing, like, again, I get the basic idea behind it. And I don't see, this is one of the things that they don't understand. If you listen to them talk about us, I call them frauditors for a reason. I'm against frauditors. If you actually are legitimately doing an audit and all of the things that these guys claim to be doing, if you're legitimately doing that, I have no problem with it. But that's not what you're doing. You're harassing innocent people. did everyone here see my new video I did on Amagansett Press? Put a one in the chat if you want to watch it. And don't put anything if you don't. If I get some ones, I'll play it because I think it's a perfect example of the way that they harass random people. It's not even cop watching anymore. It's not even post offices anymore. It's just harass people, and harass people, hoping that they'll call the cops. And if they don't, then whatever, just try to find someone else to harass. And another thing I've noticed in a lot of these videos, a lot of them, if not, I shouldn't just say a lot, I mean, probably almost 100% of the time, if you actually watch the video, and this is one of the things that I like to do, because this is where I come up with a lot of the stuff that all right, I'll play it in a minute. This is where I come up with a lot of the stuff that I come up with about these guys is I'll watch their video and then I'll watch it a second time with the sound off and base my opinions on what is actually happening in the video, because I know that what they're saying during the video is building a false narrative and it's for their subscribers, and their subscribers eat it up. So I watch it with the sound turned off. Well, I'll watch it the first time with the sound on, then I'll watch it with the sound off and actually look at what's happening in the video. Oh, okay, here's someone saying something nice. Oh, well, let's see what he's saying. Oh, look at this evil cop barking unlawful directives at me. That's not what happened. Said, do you have ID? You said no, and he let you go. So where did he violate your rights? Because he asked you a question? That's a violation of your rights? Uncle Artie doesn't want to watch it, which means I have to show it now, just to spite him. Got you. Oh, man. All right, let's see. I'm going to put that one on next because it's a good one, too. And I put a lot of... Dude, you guys have no idea. Like, I kind of have a little bit of this philosophy. Like, I remember before I play this, years ago, when Return of the Jedi first came out in 1983, I saw an interview with George Lucas, and he said, like, there was this thing, it was the sail barge, Jabba's sail barge, right? And they spent millions and millions of dollars to build the barge, and it was on screen for like 2 seconds, and then they blew it up. And they were like, how could you spend that much money on that? And then just, why not keep it on camera longer? He's like, well, the story is the point. The special effect is just a special effect. What matters is the story. I spent so much time building the first 15 seconds of this video. It's insane the amount of time and effort I put into it just for that first 15 seconds. But that's what it's about, is the story, is making the video tell the story. I wanted to build it like Hezekiah is a superhero and this was a comic book. So that's what I was going for. And I think it worked pretty well. So here, let's go ahead and take a look at that and see what you guys think. Part of the problem was because I was using stupid Paint 3D, and I love it and I hate it at the same time, because I love it because I can do stuff with it that I can't do with other programs, but I hate it because it's not necessarily the most intuitive. Hey, Camo, welcome, everyone. We're just going to go back and rewatch my most recent video I made the other day on Amagansett Press, just in case anyone missed it or wants to watch it again, because it is a gooder. Where's... Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm just going to put that on the screen. Oh, Artie, you're the best. All right. All right, here we go. Righty. Is it full screen now? Yep. Okay. Sovereign. Alan Newcastle sits alone watching YouTube videos on his computer when suddenly he hears an all too familiar cry for help. There is no expectation of privacy in public. There's no need to fear. Hezokai is here.
How's it going, guys?
It was going great until you showed up.
I'm Against It Press, and we are coming to you today from Kansas City, Missouri. Trying to stay a little on the down low here because there's a lot of people looking at us. But we are at an Apple store here today.
All right, so now that they're running out of post offices to harass, they're going to start going to Apple stores. Wow, that'll really increase government transparency.
How you doing? Good. I was gonna run the one by you. I know we didn't shop ourselves, but our customers were kind of expressing like a level of discomfort. Oh, I was just letting you know, a couple of people had mentioned they were a little uncomfortable.
Give
with
somebody
being...
a little space when you walk up to them. The point of what I just did.
He was giving your child a reasonable distance after you just recorded somebody else's child who was much, much, much younger than watching The Watchmen. And then you literally walked up to this guy and shoved your camera in his face, and he didn't even care. He just kept saying what he was saying, letting you guys know that some of the customers were uncomfortable with being recorded. You're the one who shoved your camera in his face. He did not walk that close to your kid that you needed to shove your camera in his face to prove a point about distance.
We're not that good of friends yet.
What? Oh, I didn't even walk up to you at all.
Hey, you walked up to him.
No, I know, and we were this level, like where I was kind of side by
Okay,
side.
well, just give somebody a little space.
Is this?
So go ahead.
Is this enough?
Probably not, but go ahead. What do you need?
What would you like space-wise?
I think it's common sense how far you should stand from a
This-
stranger that you don't know.
This is how close. Like,
If we're going to have a conversation, we need to be very honest with each other.
Yeah, here's an example of Amagansett Press's honesty.
Yeah, you know, weird as it might sound, we collect stamps. So what I do is I like to document my purchase. I get a receipt with my stamp. It goes into a scrapbook. And one day, 30 years from now, my son can have fun with all that.
Yeah, how close would you guys like to be? Real
What is your purpose in coming out to speak
I
with
was
us?
just letting you know there were some people inside that were like, man, that's really uncomfortable. Like,
So you
the
came out here to make
customers-
me uncomfortable?
No, I just wanted to let you know people were expressing discomfort.
Duly noted.
Got you.
And what do you expect me to do about that?
I mean, you were just now expecting me to make you guys feel comfortable with my space, so I would expect that in return.
I'm not
You said, don't make somebody feel uncomfortable.
I'm not walking up in anybody's face.
But our customers were kind of expressing like a level of discomfort. Now you're recording them
Right,
pretty close.
right,
Pretty close.
right.
As they walk out the door pretty close.
So it's your opinion that you shouldn't be on a sidewalk taking video or photographs?
If people feel uncomfortable, it's my opinion I try to make them feel a little more comfortable as
Really?
as like a fellow
Really,
human.
really?
So
Is that like an Apple corporate directive, or is this just your personal
it's
feelings?
like as a human.
Basic human decency from a frauditor?
It's
Feelings.
like as a human.
Really?
Yeah. try
So
to
you
make-
feel an
try to make
obligation to
others-
go around in your day-to-day life and curtail your activities based on other people's feelings?
If it hurts other people's feelings, yeah.
Really? You don't think
Yeah.
it would be better, you would better serve that individual by explaining to them what you're doing and possibly gaining their understanding and trust and having them understand that what you're doing is perfectly fine? You think you'd rather exacerbate the fear and do that?
Exacerbate the fear?
Yeah.
The fear of what?
Whatever they're afraid of, whatever they're uncomfortable about.
Well, I guess I could do
Am
that.
I talking too fast for you?
No, you're saying a bunch of stupid crap that doesn't make any sense based on what this guy is doing. He's at work and he's letting you know that some of the people are uncomfortable with being filmed. And you're talking about all this other nonsense that has nothing to do with what he's there for or what he's talking about. That's why you're confusing him, because you're an idiot and he doesn't understand stupidity.
No, not at all. I could do that right now. So, like, what is it you're doing? What's the intent?
Well, yeah, that's what you should have come out and said to begin with.
No,
That should have been your opening line. Should have come out and said, hey guys, beautiful day to be taking some video. Can you mind if I ask what we're doing?
since I
Now, just a suggestion. That might have been a better way to handle it.
I'm taking it. It's a great suggestion. So
Okay.
what is it you guys doing? It's a beautiful day. What are you guys up to?
So we're making a video about Apple.
That's cool. What is it about?
Yeah, well, I can't get into details while, you know, once it's published, it'll be out.
Okay, cool.
But I can't divulge that while I'm in the process of doing what I do.
Got you professionally. Understand. In the meantime, just wanted to let you know, it probably won't change anything, sounds like, but there were some customers that were like, hey, it's uncomfortable. One of them walked out earlier and said she was going to mention something. So I just want to let you know there were a couple people inside that were feeling a little uncomfortable.
Now, do you see the irony in that?
I don't, but
I can explain it to you.
I don't need it.
How many cameras do you have hanging up inside that place right now?
That's a great question. I don't know.
It is. And do they have any issues with that?
I don't know.
Man, you could have a deranged individual working for Apple that has access to those videos and do whatever they want with them.
He's right, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, I found a photo of one of Apple's security personnel. Just look at this guy. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That was a picture of Jason Gutterman.
So
I don't know.
To repeat what I was saying earlier was there were some people feeling uncomfortable. If that doesn't change your guys' directives or any of the motivations.
No, it certainly won't. I respect your private space. That's why I haven't even stepped on the little band that goes around your property.
I appreciate that, honestly.
But as far as being out in public on a public sidewalk, I feel very uncomfortable when people try to limit my liberty and freedoms out on a public sidewalk. So you can go back in there and let them know that I'm very uncomfortable with their feelings.
I'll make sure.
And I would like them to stop feeling that way so that I can feel better about my day.
I'll make sure.
Right? That's how it goes. And that's really how I feel about it, guys. You know, I think that if people are concerned about somebody taking video and photographs, and whatever the word uncomfortable or afraid or whatever the situation is, I think most people tend to follow the opinions and guidance of people in authority. So I think when you're in that position of authority, as minor as it might be working in an Apple store, you know, you could serve the public a lot better by telling them that all they're doing is taking a little video and photographs. Every phone that they sell in this place has a camera on it, which is purpose-built for the intention of people going out and taking videos and photographs in public. I don't think really, I don't think people spend too much time taking videos and photographs in their home.
But they don't do what you do.
You're selling cameras.
But I don't
having an issue with it. I don't know.
I don't care.
Really gel up for me. So,
no, because you're an idiot, and this happens every time you do this. You've been doing this for years. You know that that's how they're going to react.
Two guys out on the sidewalk minding their own business.
You're not minding your own business. You're filming their business.
And if you feel like
blah 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 blah,
we should be curtailing our activities here, like I said to the gentleman.
Nobody's curtailing. I'm tired of listening to this idiot.
Adjusting what we do based on everybody's feelings.
All right, that's pretty much the end of the original video. But in comic books, the good guy always wins in the end. So let's now have a montage of good guys winning in some of Amagansett Press's other videos.
6 inches from my face. I'll break your neck, bro.
You look, it ain't nothing you can do to me, bro.
You're gonna
really? It's nothing
you're
you
gonna
can do
touch
to me.
my
Don't put it in my face.
What are you gonna
put it in my face?
What are you gonna do?
Listen.
What are you gonna fucking you get in my face?
You got nice boobs. You understand?
Bro,
I got two.
Back up.
I got big
back
too.
up.
Understand?
Back up.
You're
back up, motherfucker. Get your hand off. Get your hand off.
This is silver.
Get your hand off.
I just want to.
I'm gonna press charges against you. Sorry,
because I want to hug.
Back up.
Because I want to hug.
Back up.
No.
You just got in my face.
No.
Now you're gonna back up.
No.
Yes, you are.
Now you're touching me with your belly.
You think I about touching you? You just push my camera.
Do you work out?
Yo, do you work out? My face. And I'm going to spray you in the face with some mace. So back up.
I'll tell you what, I would hope you would do that.
Back up.
I would hope you would do that.
Back up.
Because I have a constitutional right to get in your face with my words.
You're spitting on my face.
No, I'm not. I got a mask on, motherfucker.
I'm about to soak you down, dude.
Yo, go ahead. And you will lose your right of freedom.
Get out of my face.
No, I don't have to. It's my constitutional right, motherfucker. See how this works? Do you see how this works? Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's not my right.
What I'm doing is trying to be a better person than you. Okay?
It's not working.
I could have easily just sprayed you down, man.
And I would have taken you down so hard.
No, you wouldn't.
In defense, yes, I would have.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would have. I would have crammed this key up your nose, and it would have been over.
Get that shit out of my face, dude.
And it would have been over.
Get it out of my face.
And you know what?
Get it out of my face.
I would have been right.
Back out of my face. I'm
I don't
telling you
have
right
to
now.
move.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Go ahead. Show me. Show me why I have to move.
Do you think you're smart? Are you really that upset with getting old and being powerless?
I'm not
that
old
you're
and
gonna
I'm
get
not
some-
powerless,
Sure you are.
motherfucker.
Sure you are.
Try me.
I'm trying to. So I'm going to record all the information on your vehicle now. So you got 412 UUJ, Colorado. Get in my face again and see what
for nothing.
you've been properly warned.
You
Get in my
stand
face
for
again.
nothing.
Yeah, that's what I stand for.
You stand for
Get your
nothing.
VIN number so we can find out who you
Severio
are.
Spagnoli, 552-04-1104. Got it?
Say it again. You got a phone number?
No, I just gave it to you. 810-4101.
What's your home address?
I'm not giving you that.
Why not? Tough guy.
Because I don't want to shoot you because you came on my property.
Oh yeah,
Because you're that stupid.
is that what'll happen?
Yeah, if you came on my property, yeah.
Yeah, very good. Well, you're lucky. You're lucky. I'm a better man than you
You
are,
are not
Severio.
better.
Sure,
You're
I
an
am.
idiot.
Far better.
You're
You'll
standing
never-
for nothing.
No, not
You're
the case.
standing for nothing.
What are you standing for? What have
I
you done to
stand- I
stand for anything?
I stand
Crap.
for my personal rights.
No, you don't stand for anything.
And all you do is stand around filming people, trying to get a reaction. You got one.
No, I'm not trying to get a reaction. You're trying to have a heart attack, and you're going to give yourself one. And you're lucky I'm a better man than
Move
you
away,
are,
punch.
Severio.
My face. You're coming with me.
For what?
You do not get away with calling me an asshole.
What are you talking
What-
about?
Let's go. My face.
Get your hand out of your pocket.
Sir, I told you I
Get your
gave
hand
you
in your
my
pocket.
ID.
Put him in
I was
handcuffs.
going to pull my ID, sir. Sir, nobody asked. I'm going to.
My face.
You're going to.
My face.
You're going to.
Were you born an asshole, or did you walk it in your whole life? Either way, it worked out fine, 'cause you're an asshole tonight.
Yeah, anyway, that's my latest video. And so that was fun putting that together. Finding all those clips of him getting his I wish there was more, but that's a big part of the problem with these idiots. They get away with it, so that's why they keep doing it. And the worst thing that happens, they get a trespass, which is a slap on the wrist, and then they go back out, talk their fans into paying for their fines, and then they do it again. That's all. They don't care. Yes, indeed. That comic book cover, that was a lot of work too, where I put all the pictures in a collage of all the frauditors on there. Let's see. I'd risk the jail time to knock one of these guys out. Yeah. Dude was actually scared of a hug. Well, and I pointed it out in the video too. One of the things I loved about that guy was like, man, McGann's press keeps telling him, back up, back up, back up. And in the end, the guy never did back up. It was him who walked away, and he did the walk of shame. I loved it. What's interesting is I made a video a while ago about frauditors macing random people, and I had McGann's. It was actually his son, whatever, watching The Watchmen that did the pepper spraying, but that's his big thing. Like, and for a lot of these people, it's, whatever, but I feel sorry for his kid watching The Watchmen, because being raised by him to do this, that kid has no future. What's going to happen when, he has to face the real world? He isn't going to know how. All he's going to know how to do is to pepper spray people and to get in people's faces and let daddy do all the talking and let daddy protect them from the big evil bad guys that don't like being filmed. Well, like I say, my thing is, if I saw them in person, I would purposely go out of my way to grab my phone, start filming, and get as close to them as I can without touching them. Because they're going to, because they're humans. They're naturally going to have, hey, a back off kind of a thing. And then immediately turn on what law is that? That's not a law. What ordinance is that? What I have the constitutional right. This is a public place. I could stand wherever I want in public. Well, I'm filming, cam back. No, I'm exercising my First Amendment right. What, you don't like the First Amendment? I would turn it all around on them. It would be so much fun. is Josh Abrams frauditing again. I just covered him about an hour ago. He did I showed a video that he just put out where he calls the cops. Basically, he calls the cops. And then when they show up, he's like, "Why are you sending all these police here to bother me?" And he's the one who called for the cops. And when they arrived, they said, "What did you need? Why did you call us?" He goes, "Yeah, I wanted you to give me a FOIA request." And of course, the cop doesn't have a FOIA form on him. So he had to complain about that. How come you guys could not have that? How dare you not do your job? And then when the cop leaves, he goes, "You're dismissed, dog. Roll over and take a treat and drive away and get off of my property because I pay taxes. So this is my land and I'm your." It was horrible. So yeah, he's still out there doing it. Let's see. Because he's not worried about going to prison again. No, he doesn't care because he's making money. He's hosting debates between James Freeman and Chili de Castro. Oh, the guy's a clown. They're all clowns. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Well, what's kind of nice is it's getting to the point where the cops do kind of know these guys, what they're about. And I honestly think that the cops would probably be on our side to an extent. I mean, I don't know how many videos I've seen of these frauditors where they're like, "Hey, that guy assaulted me. How come you're not arresting him? How come you're yelling at me?" Well, obviously because the guy did what he did because you were sticking the camera in his face. And it's always if they just go like this, like that cop. There was that video a couple weeks ago where the guy's holding the camera up and the cop goes like this to see the guy's face. And he's like, "She assaulted me. She battered me. I'm filing complaints. I can't believe you would do such horrible, evil tyranny." That's what she did. That's literally what she did. That's big, horrible tyranny. Man, these people are so horrible. Audit the fraudits. Yeah. Uncle Artie, do you use the VideoPad video editor too? Is that your thing? Because if you need help figuring out some of the more advanced stuff on it, I could help you out. I'll be happy to do that. Maybe one of these days we could do like a private stream where you ask me questions and I'll just open it up and share the screen and go over some of the stuff you could do in there. Because it is a bit of a pain, but that's the thing. Yeah, I'm lazy about it. Well, that's part of it too. I do, like I kind of said earlier, I do tend to put a lot of work into my videos. And that's actually one of the things I wanted to ask you guys about. So since I got a bunch of people here, I'll ask you guys now. Just kind of give me your opinion on this. So I've noticed that if I put out videos all the time, that's when I start getting more views. I start getting more subs. It starts doing great. It's like, yes, my channel's really taking off now. But I could just pop them out. But I like taking my time and trying to make it like when one of my videos comes out, there's something to it. Like that last one with the whole comic book theme. Like I always want to do something extra, but that takes extra work and a lot of extra time. And I can't do that and put out 2, 3, 4 videos a day, right? If I want to do that, I could do a video here and a video there, but it's quality over quantity. Yes, that's what I'm getting at. So yeah, if that's what it is, show some more dumb. Well, that's the thing. Like I could easily just pump a lot of videos out. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing too. I've been thinking about trying to have more of like a regular schedule as far as the lives go. That way I can keep doing the lives sort of in between, that way I'm still I'm still in the scene, but in the meantime, I'm editing videos, putting stuff together. Like right now, the video I'm working on is taking a while because what happened was I was watching this live stream of this guy, News Now California, I think he was, where what he did was he walked into this place. There was a girl working behind the counter. Of course, he gave her a hard time because that's what they do. And then he went to the main office to complain about her, blah, blah, blah. But hey, Hank, what's up? You're up late tonight. And then he went back the next day and filmed him going to complain about her. And he posted that. So I have both of those. So I want to sort of edit those together and tell the whole story of how this guy is just basically going out there harassing this girl and then like having the clips go back and forth showing like him telling the cops what she did and then going back and showing what she actually did that he's lying about, and then again show another clip of him accusing her of doing something and then going back and showing what actually happened and putting it together like that. But both of those clips that I'm choosing from were over an hour long, where they were like 2.5, 3 hour live streams. So I'm like really spending a lot of time going through this, trying to find all the best clips. Put some hashtags at the bottom of the descriptions of your videos. I do. But I'm not sure exactly which hashtags to use. I put frauditors in every video, and I actually got yelled at because one of my hashtags is sovereign citizens, and I just set that up as a default hashtag. Like every video I upload has that hashtag on it, and people have been yelling at me in Reddit. I have a love-hate relationship with Reddit because if you look at my analytics, the majority of my views come from Redditors. But when I go on there, the comments I get, like I said, why do you have a hashtag sovereign citizen on your video about frauditors? They're not the same thing. Yeah, read my book. I have a whole chapter on the frauditor connection with sovereign citizens. Dagnabbit. Reddit, what's that? Reddit is a nightmare. That's what it is. But it is it works. Yeah, so I think, like I said, that's kind of what I want to do overall, is to start having a more regular schedule of lives, because I don't have to edit those, right? I just do them. And in the meantime, I'll be editing my videos that way. It isn't like you only hear from me once in a great while. There'll always be something new from me, but it'll be a bunch of lives with a new video posted in between. But I got to come up with a schedule, and that's not easy, man. I got 4 kids. I got a lot of stuff going on. I don't know. Reddit is a lovely cesspool. Yes, it is. Definitely that. I got a couple other things to read it. Read what? Ooh, wait, somebody asked. I'm not doing this to be whatever. Somebody asked about it. I actually wrote a book about frauditors called The Frauditor Handbook. It's a comedy book. It's written as though it's the real handbook. Like if a frauditor was a legitimate job, this is the book they would get when they showed up to work the first day. It's the training manual on how to do a proper fraud. Kick's been reading it on his stream. Uncle Artie read the whole thing on his, but he did it, in a comedy sense, which is great. I love Artie, so we have a good time. And the official audiobook version of this is in the process of being made right now, with Kick doing the reading of it. So that's going to be available eventually. If you want to check that out, if you want, I could drop a link to where to buy the book in the chat. And I also have the my shirt, my merch here. Let's see. Yeah, Susie, that's like I said, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get more of a regular schedule, to this kind of thing. I keep forgetting that, Uncle Artie. I'm sorry. Turd Snurdly read it, not Uncle Artie. I understand. Let's see. Is Kick reading it as meatwad? You know what, Hank? We didn't think of that. I don't know how far he is into it, but I might suggest that. You know what? In fact, I'm going to email him right now because that's a brilliant idea. I mean, obviously, he's probably asleep right now, but he'll get it. He always reads my emails. Let's see. All right. All right. I'm sorry. I'm emailing him right now because I love that idea. All right. I don't know. That's literally what I'm telling him. I don't know how far he is into the recording right now, but if he hasn't finished it, I told him Hank's Corner suggested that maybe you could read some of it as meatwad. That would be brilliant. Yes. Because I love his meatwad. It's spot on, man. Oh, Maggie's leaving. Good night, Maggie. Sweet dreams. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Only 12:18 by you? Oh, it's like 2:18 here. Yeah. I probably should have went to bed before I even started this, but like I said, I've been wanting to go live all week and all these things have been popping up. I haven't had a chance. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just go on now. I promised myself I'd go on at some point. So here I am. Like I said, I need to set up a more permanent schedule for these things. I don't think the average frauditor has the dark web figured out. I don't think the average frauditor has anything figured out. They're so dumb. And when you hear them talk, it's like I said, before I came on here tonight, I was in Rogue Nation's live stream and he had all these frauditors on there. Erie County was on there and Cache Valley and all these guys. And they were talking about, well, one of the things they were talking about was the trolls, which literally they were talking about me because I was in their chat. And they were saying like, these guys are stupid and they probably parents' basement or whatever, blah, blah. But basically they're not addressing any issues. They're not making any points. I even said, well, okay, I'm not just trolling. I have legitimate questions. And of course, they didn't address any of the actual issues I was trying to address with them. They said something about, I asked something about Poster 7, and they were like, here's what it was. I said, how come you guys purposely go out of your way to ignore the second half of Poster 7, where it says they have the right to ask you to stop filming? And his response was, it's not our responsibility for them to know what Poster 7 says. They should look it up themselves. But you're the one who's using Poster 7 as your argument. So why is it their responsibility to know your argument? You're the one who's arguing it. You should make your point. But that doesn't make sense to them. I'm an idiot because I said that. Oh yeah, and they were. He wrote. DB just said he's getting clowned by Mark. They were talking about him too, and the more these people talk trash about Mark Stout and legalized drugs, which now is the Long Island Frauditor, the more I support him. If you're not subscribed to Long Island Frauditor, you should, because he was an auditor. He was one of the worst. I made a video tearing him apart. I wrote a rap song about how much I hated the guy. and it was all great fun. But then as soon as Schrodinger died, like, and I mean, he did this whole interview with Kick where he explained, who is this Rogue Nation. He's another idiot frauditor. But anyway, so in his interview with Kick, he was saying it wasn't because Schrodinger died, but it was after Schrodinger died that he started to see the light and realized that we were right and that frauditing was wrong. And he's completely flipped the script now. And so Rogue Nation and all these guys on their live feed today were tearing him apart, saying, "Oh, I can't believe this guy sold out and he thinks he knows so much and he's so smart and blah, blah." Ugh. Yeah, he's doing it right now. And even like a while ago, I did an interview on this channel with DirectD. And in fact, I got to contact him. I got his personal information too. He wanted me to set up something with him, but I never did it yet because I still wasn't sure. I was still on the fence with him because he's still doing what he does, but he's been, and I've been watching his videos, keeping up, making sure, because I had this fear after I talked to him that, like, okay, is DirectD still what I always thought he was and that I was making fun of in my videos about him? Or is he starting to sort of realize that this is, good night, Susie, that it's being taken way too far? Because that's basically like what he was saying. Like, he sees what these guys are doing and he doesn't like chili at all. But like, he's saying like, oh, I see what these guys are doing and I don't support that, and like, he realizes there is a line and that you shouldn't cross it, or at least that's what he was saying. But I wasn't sure. I was still on the fence as to how much I believed him, not to accuse him of anything, but I wanted to be wary, because when people that are on the other end start, contacting you, personal information wise, and then doxing, and, there's a little bit of trepidation there. I wouldn't call it fear because I'm afraid of the guy, but he seems like a good guy, actually. Just, I don't agree with cop watching, and I even told him that. But I've been seeing him popping up. He was on Masshole the other day. I've been seeing him popping up in more and more of our feeds, not supporting what we do, but understanding that, like, I guess the best way for me to say it would be that, like, his line that he won't cross is still past mine, but it's a lot lower than what people like Silence Boy and Casey Camera Boy and even Amagansett Press and all these other idiots do. In fact, just the other day, I saw a DirectD video and he was doing a cop watch and he literally just went out there and, okay, the cops are here. What's going on? He actually like spoke to the people, not just got in their face and refused to stop filming them. He explained, oh, no, I just, I'm here, to make sure the police aren't doing anything, and because so often with these frauditors, I get so mad when I'm not listening to anything right now, so I don't need that. I get so mad at some of these guys when they come out and make it sound like they're trying to protect people from the police while being horribly rude to the people that they're supposedly protecting. But he was being cool with the people and just like, oh no, I'm just doing the thing. It's cool, So I don't know. Let's see. The best way to describe these frauditors is to say they got into the gene pool while the lifeguard wasn't watching. He's bridging the middle ground. Yeah, I think so. Yes, and that's the thing. Like, again, when I first did my interview with DirectD, I wasn't sure where it was going to go. It was a last minute thing. It was literally one of these. I was doing exactly the same thing I'm doing now. He showed up in my chat. He's like, hey, can I come up? And I'm like, okay, why not? I'm not afraid to talk to anybody. And after the interview was over, a lot of people were telling me like, oh, why'd you do that? You just let him, spout off all of his stuff or whatever. But he was making sense. Again, at the time, I wasn't sure if I necessarily believed that he was being completely honest, but everything he was saying made sense. Even if I disagreed with him, I would tell him that, but it was like, okay, yeah, I get it. You're doing this, you're doing that. Cool. I'm not going to tear you apart from, because again, when you hear about situations where cops really do bad things, and that does happen, right? If there's a camera there, we need that there. That's a good thing to have. But like today with the Josh Abrams video I showed a few hours ago, he literally calls the police and then they show up. Why'd you call? What's going on? Oh yeah, you guys got a FOIA request on you? And the cop's like looking at him like, what the hell are you talking about? Why would I be carrying around FOIA forms? Oh, well, that's what I called you for. You can't help me. You're dismissed. Get out of my... And he's referring to the parking lot he's standing in as his parking lot. Get out of my parking lot. You're dismissed, you dog. And he told him, I'm like, you sit and stand because I told you to. And talking to him like he was a dog. And these guys think that they're doing something good. Breach of chivalry laws. Most of them are a walking argument for birth control. Yeah. Well, I'm going through the chat a little bit and trying to catch up, but yeah, that's the whole thing with him, direct D specifically, is at this point I see him as being right in the middle. Like I said, there's that line that he won't cross, which I admire and respect that, while at the same time, his line is still beyond mine. What I think is acceptable behavior, but it's below what most of these frauditors do. So, like I said, at least I respect that. It kind of reminds me of, like I always say, the anti-hero in the movies, right? Like the old Clint Eastwood movies and stuff. Like the anti-hero always crosses the line of what we normal people would do, but they still have their moral compass and they will not go past that, what they think is right. They might be wrong, but they're steadfast with that, and I can respect that, even though I don't necessarily agree with it, when it's beyond just trying to create interactions intentionally, making yourself the story on purpose for YouTube views and clout in the frauditing community, and just to get a buzz because of the adrenaline rush of giving a cop a hard time and swearing at him. A one-cheek asshole. That was a good one, Keith. I like that. Oh, goodness. Have you audited frauditors in public? I was actually talking about that earlier. I would love to, but they have like a network where they all contact each other directly so that we won't know where they're going to be before they show up. If I could find out where one of these guys was going to be before he did it and to actually show up and audit them, I would love to do that. Like I said earlier, I have the whole script memorized, so I would turn it on them. Everything I would say would be one of their standard arguments that I would use against them. You have to go play guitar and it's all my fault. Dude, did you see the other day when Blue Bacon was on playing guitar? His internet was getting all choppy trying to play the Chili stuff, so he just picked up his guitar and started jamming. That dude plays the tuba, the guitar, the piano. I play the guitar, bass, but that's pretty much it. I mean, I've noodled around on a piano a little bit, but I'm not very good at it. So that's good, ZB. You keep up that guitar playing, man. Keep picking. Oh, Distracting public employees from assigned duties is also against the law. Yes, and once again, that goes back to one of the big things that I hate about these guys. You know, I was talking earlier about how Cash Valley loves to get all these FOIA requests and stuff and then pay for them in change. It's like, talk about using our tax money to pay these people to waste their time counting your change when they could be doing their job. But now they have to stop and drop everything what they're doing so that they can count your change. It's stupid. You missed the Blue Bacon guitar part. Yeah, it was cool. He played the acoustic and the electric. And he was just doing songs like because I don't know if he does tab or if he could read. I think he could read music because he does it when he plays the tuba too and the piano. But like he'll look in the chat, they'll request a song, and then he'll pull it up on the computer and just play it live while he reads the music. He was doing the Eagles. It was pretty good. Yeah, he has fun. You were getting your butt kicked on Elden Ring. Yeah, man. I want to get back into my Skyrim too. I haven't done that in a while. Yeah, Blue Bacon had a lot of fun on that stream. Well, and that's the other thing too. That's another reason why I need to come up with something of a more solid schedule for my own lives, because I like watching theirs. You know, it's not like I don't want to be on while they're on because I see myself as some kind of competition. I want to watch their stream. The one time, I think it was last week, Masshole did one, and I asked Kate if she minded if I did a watch along with during my live stream, and she said that was fine. So I watched her stream on here with my people, so that was pretty cool. It's legal to fart in an elevator, but only a dick does it. Well, see, again, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I'll always say this, because to me, I cannot understand the difference. To me, their argument is exactly the same as saying, I'm going to cheat on my wife to educate her that it's not illegal to cheat. Like, what's the difference? I'm going to get in these people's faces with a camera to educate them that it's not illegal to film them. So what's the difference? Just because something's legal doesn't mean you should do it. So then what's the next step? What's the answer? To make laws based on common decency and morality, to make it illegal to talk, to repeal the First Amendment so you won't be allowed to say these things? No, obviously that's not going to happen, but that's why these laws are being passed now to limit filming, because these idiots are out there doing it. It's like, it's just so insane. Oh yeah, VW Star. There was I don't remember what it was. Somebody it was unclean. It was an Unclean Hands video that he came out with. I think it was today or yesterday, about a frauditor that was a convicted sex offender that was auditing a juvenile facility. And he was like, everybody go to this video and report it. And there was even a clip that he showed in the video of the guy saying, I got arrested for doing stuff with infants 13 years ago. Are they going to hold that against me for the rest of my life? Okay, you know what? Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know. That whole thing is a whole different level of evil. But because, I mean, people, just because someone committed a crime at some point in their past doesn't mean that it should be held against them for the rest of their life. People make mistakes. But one, that's a whole different level of crime. Two, hold it against you the rest of your life. I don't know. When you're auditing a juvenile facility and you got busted for doing something to children, yeah, maybe that kind of should be something they're aware of, that you're a convicted sex offender for minors if you're auditing a juvenile facility. Like, that probably is something they should be made aware of. Well, and that's another thing, like CH, and TY audits. Like, I didn't even know who they were. Um, I didn't even know who they were until he got arrested a couple weeks ago. But CH got arrested, whatever. But CH and TY audits are on a tear right now as far as being horrible. And he literally did an audit just the other day where he walks into a building and the guy says, okay, you can't walk past this area. He's like, well, I mean, I'm going to because it's open. And he's like, no, it's not. He's like, well, how are we supposed to know that? I'm telling you that. That's how you're supposed to know. I just told you. It's like, no. What you guys need to do is get the city to build a wall here. So he wants to spend more tax dollars to build a wall. I mean, it's like the mentality is like with the sign thing is what made me bring this up, right? Well, there's no sign saying I can't be in this room. There's no sign saying I can't film. There's no sign saying I can't trespass. But if there is a sign, oh, well, we got to get this sign taken down because it's unconstitutional. We can't listen to this sign because it goes against my rights. If there's no sign, they will complain and say there's no sign. That's their excuse. And if there is a sign, they'll complain and say the sign isn't supported by the Constitution, so I don't have to follow it. So you can't win with these guys. No matter what you say, they're going to spin it around. That's why they talk in circles. That's why they talk fast. You can't win. They will say that they're here for this reason, that reason, and that reason. But if you say, okay, fine, well, then let's do that, then they flip it on you and make it something else. I've seen Anselmo, when called out on Poster 7, say, oh, well, Poster 7 doesn't override the Constitution. Well, then why are you using Poster 7 as an excuse to do what you're doing? And then when they actually read it and say, oh, but it says this, then you say, oh, well, that doesn't apply. Then why did you even bring it up in the first place if it doesn't apply? They're just going to flip it. They're just going to talk in circles. They don't care. They don't care about anything real. They say they do, but they don't. And they prove it over and over and over and over again. Sign everywhere, a sign. Messing up the scenery, breaking my mind. Do this, don't do that. Can't you read the signs? Yeah, that's a good one. Let's see. If they don't post a sign, I could grab a newspaper and pop a squad on the front porch for the Constitution. Oh. Sex offender status for life. Yeah. Kitty diddlers need to have their junk nailed to a tree stump and then set on fire and give them a spark to cut themselves free. Yeah, that's like even what's his name? The Republican guy. The debater, he's great at debating. Whether you like him or not, he's great at debating. What's his name? Ben Shapiro. Even he, like whenever anyone brings up child molesters, he's always like, "Oh, well, they need to be castrated. We need to change the law." So, like, even he thinks that. So, yeah. I want a kick hat too now. Yeah, and this is a very special kick hat because it's not just like, and that's why I keep it up. Because I didn't just buy a Kick hat. Kick gave me that hat. That was a gift from the man himself. So that's one of my proudest moments. And the fact that he's doing the audio version of my book is fantastic too. I love that guy. He's great. I'll even. And then I'll do my. Well, maybe not because I don't. Yeah, there you go. My Kick impersonation. I don't have my sunglasses on, though. I don't know where they are right now. I got my regular glasses, my reading glasses. But that's pretty much as far as it goes because I can't do voices. The only voice I can do is my Bears voice. And that's just because... Since I'm from Chicago, it's very easy for me to jump back into the old Chicago accent over by there and get that, get talking with that. All you got to do is make your top lip a little stiff, raise your voice a little bit and pitch, and whenever you say the number tree, you got to say tree, like you're climbing a tree. And that's about it over by there. You got to, Chicago. Public employees are their personal slaves? What tyrants? They'd be horrible slave masters. Yeah, they always treat all public employees like their personal slaves because they pay taxes, which is so insane. Take a dump and say, that's my statement. Oh, man. Yeah, that would work. So anyway, that's what we need to do. We need to start a campaign to find someone to be a mole, to get into these guys, to find out where they're going to be so we could start auditing them in person. I would love to audit auditors. Oh, I would love to do that. Oh, that would be so great. I would make this whole channel just about that. Like, I'd just be traveling around the country following them and auditing them everywhere they go. I would love to do that. You don't know how to eat unless you're from Chicago. Hey, damn straight. Let me tell you something. I'm in Florida for the summer. Well, I've been here for the summer's just starting. I've been here for a month or two now, but I've been hanging out in Florida. There ain't no restaurants here that got nothing. All the restaurants here have no. I'm from Chicago, man. I know food. Believe me, I know. I know food. So I know how to eat. That's for dang sure. And these people out here do not know how to cook. They eat out every day, and all the restaurants here is just bleh. Was that a Jerry Jeff Walker song? Everybody, like, I mean, I don't even know which version I used. I think that song was written by Jimmy Buffett, but like every country artist has covered it at some point. There's so many versions of it. If you just Google or YouTube, search Asshole Tonight, because that's the name of the song, Asshole Tonight, and you'll get tons of hits because everybody's done a version of it. Portillo's. I used to have a Portillo's. See, I haven't been to Chicago for so long, I know I'm saying it wrong. But I'm not Italian, so it don't matter if I pronounce it wrong. In fact, it's almost more Chicago to pronounce it wrong. But yeah, man, I used to go. In fact, now that I think about it, my my baby shower was at Portillo's. It was. My baby shower was at Portillo's. Yep, for my first kid. I'll never forget that. Yeah, that was I like. We had the chopped salad over by there and the hot dogs. That's some good stuff. Good stuff. Gotta love it. But other than that, let's see. I got a request in the chat. Let's see what we can do here. I might could do something with this. Let's see. Maybe not. It's 3 a.m. Yeah. Well, this might be a good way to wrap it up. But then again, this might just get it started. Let's see what happens after this. Plus, there's always the copyright question. Hey, Leon Squirrels, what's up? Good to see you. I had a request for some Pantera. Oh, look, there I am on the...
Words were spoken, painful and untrue. I said I love, but I lied. was the keeping someone like you. As it turns out, deeper within me, love was twisted. You keep this love, third love, joy, love, joy. You keep this love, first love, love. You keep this love, love, love. You keep this love, love, love. You keep this love. I've been attempting one, stole her from herself. This gift in pain, no pain was right. And sometimes I feel so sorry. I regret this hurting of you. But you made me so unhappy. I take my life in love with you. I kill myself for you. I kill you for myself. You keep this love, dirty love, joy, love, joy. You keep this love, first love, love, right. You keep this love, love, love. You keep this love, love, love. You keep this love. No more hatred.
Sorry about that. I'm going to put the song back on. I just had to pause it for a minute because of copyright reasons. And also, yes, I do know Mudvayne. And Tina's Pizza Tiramisu was my favorite dessert when I was in Chicago. It was a local pizza joint right on the corner, and their tiramisu was to die for. Yes. Gotta love that stuff, man. That's good stuff. Yeah. R.I.P. Dimebag Daryl, man. That was. Look at this. I went a little crazy there when I was off camera for a second. Because yeah, I love that stuff. Anyway, that was fun. So it's like 3 o'clock in the morning out here, so I gotta wrap this up. I think that's a good happy ending. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys all for coming out and joining me tonight. We had a little bit of fun. We made fun of some frauditors, had some good times. Don't forget to buy my book, The Frauditor's Handbook. And if you want some merch, I got my shirt there. The Pretender by Foo Fighters. Oh, all right. See, you guys, just when I think I'm out, you guys suck me back in. But then it's like, oh man, I don't want to not do that. That's a good idea. Let's see. It's hard because these music streams, man, that's I could get I've never had a copyright strike against me. There's a big difference between a copyright claim and a copyright strike, so that's good. But yeah, I could do it. I could do it because it doesn't hurt, and that got me a couple super chats, so that'll make up for if I lose anything for copyright. So let's go ahead and get that on here for you guys because I love you guys. So why not? All right.
Keep you in the dark and somewhere gone again. Send in your skeletons, sing as their bones come marching in again. They need you buried deep. The secrets that you keep are at the ready. Are you ready? I'm finished making sense. Done bleeding ignorance that hold defense. Spinning infinity, but the wheel is spinning me. It's never ending, never ending. Same old story. What if I say I'm not like the others? What if I say I'm not just another one in your place? You're a pretender. What if I say I will never surrender? What if I say I'm not like the others? What if I say I'm not just another one in your place? You're a pretender. What if I say just another soul for sale. Oh well. The page is out of press. We are not permanent. Temporary, same old story. What if I say I'm not like the others? What if I say I'm not just another one in your place? You're the pretender. What if I say that I'll never surrender? What if I say I'm not like the others? What if I say I'm not just another one in your place? You're the pretender. What if I say I will never surrender? I'm the voice inside your head you refuse to hear. I'm the face that you have to face, mirrored in your stare. I'm what's left, I'm what's right, I'm the enemy. I'm the hand that'll take you down, bring you to your knees. So who are you? Yeah, who are you? Yeah, who are you?
Yeah, that's right. Oh man, that was that. Okay, but you know what? We're gonna keep going. Hold on a second, because there was something else that came up, and so here you go. I hope you guys are ready for this one. Buckle your seatbelts if you don't know who these guys are. I'm turning my headphones up for this.
Son, I'm a empty clutch. Since it's all in ruin, why must we die? Obliterate mankind. Unraveling we shall arise. I leave nothing for nothing. Terrorists of the wait for the end. One time conspiracy. I see the world old. I see the world dead. seeking some salvation. Last wish, fatality. I know it. I'm from nowhere. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Face the enemy. Manic thoughts. Religious intervention. Problems remain. Open direction of mankind. On a family sky, we shall arise.
Yeah, man. Oh, man, the good old days. They don't make music the way they used to, that's for sure. Oh, boy, oh, boy. I've never heard of this group, Sepultura. They were pretty cutting edge for their time, man. The singer left and started a different group, Soulfly. They're pretty good too. But Sepultura, they were on a different level. Yeah, Testament's still around. A lot of these guys are, the guys from the. I mean, think about it. Bands from the '70s are still around, so there's a lot of guys from the '90s that are still into it, still doing it. Well, as far as Guar goes, I saw them back in the day, but ever since Odorous died, I don't know. I don't want to see him without Odorous or Rungus. But yeah, Guar shows it. I actually saw Guar in Chicago on Halloween, and you want to talk about an amazing show? Holy cow! Oh yeah, Iron Maiden was fantastic. They were great. In fact, I've had this thing going with some people like back in the day, me and my friends always used to get in arguments about who was the best heavy metal singer. Was it Bruce Dickinson, or was it Ronnie James Dio, or was it King Diamond, or was it Rob Halford? Or I always made the argument for, like, it all depends for me on how you define it. Like, if you want to talk about vocal range versus vocal style, like, if you talk about the best heavy metal singer as far as style, I would say Ozzy Osbourne. Because when you listen to those old Black Sabbath records, his phrasing, where he chooses to sing, which parts of the song he chooses to sing, and how he chooses to say the words, to me was brilliant. But Bruce Dickinson, I mean, you talk about a guy, and Dio, yeah. Have I listened to any of Iron Maiden's new stuff? Yes, they're a lot more progressive metal now, which is fine with me. I don't have a problem with that. But I don't know. You never liked King Diamond. Um, a lot of people, a lot of people don't like King Diamond, but if you do, nobody can do what he does the way he does it. Um, I like to compare it to what's that guy's name? Dagnabbit. Anyway, there's certain people who, if you like what they do, nobody does it better, and he's one of them. Seeing Ozzy nowadays hurts. I've seen Ozzy like 8 times, like 4 times with Sabbath, and then 4 times on his own. And yeah, he's in fact, the last Ozzy show I went to, he literally spent the whole show just kind of like standing there and like trying to be funny, but not really. I don't know if he just didn't know what he was doing or where he was or what. It was sad, but in a way it was kind of funny. King Crimson, they are, there's something else, man. Those guys can play, that's for sure. Another one that I love is Frank Zappa. Let's see. Yeah, the auditors are spreading. That's all the more reason. And this is one of the things that getting back onto how we all started with the auditor thing, right? I again, before I went live tonight, I was in Rogue Nation's live stream chat, and they were talking about, well, again, they were talking about me because I was in the chat, and they were like, "Oh, this guy, blah blah blah," and they were saying that all we do is troll them and try to make money off of their content. That is so insanely misunderstanding our whole purpose of exposing and the fact that it's spreading means that we have to work even harder to spread the message that these guys are full of it. What's up, AU? Welcome. See, I wasn't expecting this many people to show up this late. I thought this stream wasn't going to be anything because I didn't even start until midnight. Now I've been here almost 3 hours, and I got a bunch of people in here, and all my good friends. Look at this. AU's here, Leanne's, TB Cooper. Oh man, all you guys. I love you guys. Thank you all for showing up. I appreciate it. One of these days, I'd like to do a 24-hour stream on a weekend just to do it. And, you know, obviously it would get to a point where it would be like tonight where like I covered everything I wanted to cover. So now we're just hanging out. Let's see. Just going over some of the comments here. All right, DB Cooper, you asked for it. But I'm going to go on a different route. Don't be too scared. Hold on. I'm going to try to pull a fast one on you and see if you can guess before I do it what I'm going to do here. Hold on. Let me see what this is. I want to make sure. No, I don't want to do that. Hold on. Thank you. We don't stop. That's right. We're going to steal Chili's thing and use it against them. All right. All right. I'm gonna pull a fast one. Since you don't want to hear King Diamond, I'm not going to play King Diamond. I'm going to play Merciful Fate, a band that King Diamond was the lead singer of. I got you. I've seen both bands live, King Diamond and Merciful Fate, by the way. Great shows. So, does this work with me having the music play in the background while I'm talking at the same time? because like I'm seeing some stuff I still want to address in the chat here. First of all, I love Rush, absolutely. But and I've seen them live too. By the way, they put on a great show. One of the things about auditors in other countries that drives me nuts is like the First Amendment audit, right? In another country, there is no First Amendment. Like, yeah, they have their equivalent or whatever, but it's like I've actually seen auditors in other countries quote American laws. It's just so insane. Yeah. Yeah, they are morons. There's no doubt about that. They are very dumb. But anyway, yeah, King Diamond is definitely an acquired taste. But the band is so good. Let me see something here real quick. All right, let me get rid of that real quick. All right. Just in case anyone in here doesn't understand what we're talking about in the chat, I have to do this because it's just necessary that everyone knows, because this goes beyond like normal. Hey, Peck, a normal traffic stop can take a while depending on what the cop is doing and what he finds when he runs your information, but usually maybe 5-10 minutes if you just show him your license. You know why I pulled you over? Yeah, I was doing this. Oh, all right. Get your ticket and go home. That's it. It's usually not that big of a deal if you don't make it a big deal like these guys do. Oh, well, here's your chance, Peck. And keep in mind that there's only 3 guys playing. And I've seen them live. And when you hear like the guitars and the bass and the drums and the keyboards and everything else going on, it's 3 guys playing. I've seen them do it. If anyone doesn't understand music, the drums right now are so insanely difficult. And the fact that it sounds easy is one of the reasons why he's such an amazing drummer. This is not 4/4. He's... Also, just looking at the chat. Yes, it is Neil. Yes. He wasn't on the first, I think, 2 albums, maybe 3, but he's on this for sure. Neil Peart. During the quiet part, talking about getting pulled over, obviously not talking to the cops, not answering questions is a thing. And that's not the problem. The problem is refusing to ID. You cannot answer questions and still show your driver's license. And the guitar player right now, that's Alex Lifeson. And Geddy Lee on bass and keyboard. This part, check this out, check it out. All right. That was good. That one guy over there. Play what? Which video? Gotta find a video. Which video? Arlo Guthrie. Yeah, I know Arlo Guthrie. Let's see. We were talking earlier too about the getting pulled over. I don't know how much you heard of that, but what I was saying, like, because I saw like some people in the chat saying, "Oh, don't ever talk to cops when they pull you over and this and that." That's never been my issue with these guys. It's the fact that if you get pulled over, you still have to show your driver's license, and depending on what state you're in, proof of insurance or registration, whatever it is that they ask for. You don't have to say a word. But when, I'm not going to give you my ID, you're already starting a problem right there. If you're driving, I don't care what you call the definition of driving. If you're operating a motor vehicle on the road, you need to have a driver's license to do so. That's just the way it is. You don't like it, I don't know, move to North Korea or something. Good luck. Let's see. I wanted to share this just because playing music on the stream reminds me of like the music reaction channels. And I just saw this a few days ago. This is my all-time favorite reaction to a song. I'm just going to play a few seconds of it, just this one particular part of the reaction, because I'm not in a commercial capacity, though. Yeah, but that's not the law. That's a complete misrepresentation and misinterpretation of Black's Law Dictionary. And just in case anyone doesn't understand, the funny part about them using Black's Law Dictionary as their excuse is that their word, they hang their hook on the word employed, because in Black's Law Dictionary, driving is defined as being employed in the operation of a motor vehicle. But they hang their hat on the word employed. But if you look up the word employed in Black's Law Dictionary, the definition of the word employed is doing. Like right now, I am employed in doing a live stream. Right now, I am employed in picking up my phone. So employed in operating a motor vehicle doesn't mean employment, like having a job. It means doing something. Employed in operating a motor vehicle. Physically operating a motor vehicle is, according to Black's Law Dictionary itself, employed. So their whole argument completely falls apart. Yeah, the 1910 edition, they're talking about horseless carriages and stuff. But anyway, this is the thing I wanted to show. So I'm not going to show this whole video, just this one little part, because I loved it so much. So what's happening is it's a channel called Lost in Vegas. They do music reactions, and they're listening to the song Hand of Doom by Black Sabbath. And when I'm going to start it, you'll see the two guys are talking to each other. You might be able to make it out or not, but that's why I'm telling you what it is the beginning. And if you're not familiar with the song Hand of Doom, it starts out really slow and mellow. And at the beginning of the reaction, they love that slow, mellow part. They're just so into it. And then they like really are feeling the vibe of the song. And then the guitar solo kicks in. And the one guy turns to the other guy and says, hey, if they go back to that mellow part again, I'm going to lose it. And this is where I'm picking it up, like right around when he says that. And I love it, how he reacts. This is so great. And I love Black Sabbath, by the way, so it's appropriate.
Right. Just said that.
Yeah, they're the truth, man. They're the truth. They're the truth, man. Yeah, there's nobody better than Black Sabbath. I don't give a fuck. Not Tool, not fucking Rush, nobody.
Anyway, I love that because and when they were, man, if they bring that soul part back, I'm gonna. And then sure enough, right after he says that, it's perfect. Steven Seagal's awesome. Well, now I'm all lost in the chat. So where are we at? My link got muted. Search for Steven Seagal's. They do a Master of Puppets cover. Uh-oh. It looks like they do a lot of covers. Oh no, we watched this last time. We watched this on my last stream. But that reminds me of a different cover band that some of you might not be familiar with. And if you are, you're going to be like, "Oh wow, not this again." Oh no. But I have to. Just for nostalgia's sake, I have to. Okay, those of you who know what this is, I don't know. How many people are in here right now? 23? I bet you as soon as I start playing this, it's going to drop to like 1. Oh, this is going to be great. This is for nostalgia's sake. I can't believe I'm about to do this. I'm going to shoot myself in the foot with this one. I know it.
Resolve our very actually, I think there's on all the records. You guys remember this clock? Oh, hey, mama said the way you move gonna make you sweat and gonna make you groove. That's good. And I like the way you shake that thing. Go watch let it drip. I can't keep away. Yeah. My nerves is shy, a burning red. The dreams of you all through my head.
No, Weird Al is brilliant. These guys are just goofy.
Charlie Hodge, ladies and gentlemen. Charlie Hodge. Good job, Charlie. Oh, I don't know what I found out or what people mean by down and out. Charlie Hodge, he's got no class. He just stood here and passed some gas.
All right, I'm sorry about that, guys. I had to throw that in there. Was that a twerk? Yeah, man. So in case you guys haven't noticed, I listen to a little bit of everything. I'm not high enough for these guys. Yeah, Dred Zeppelin, man. That was Dred Zeppelin. They were the idea, it's a Led Zeppelin band, but they play Led Zeppelin covers reggae style, but their lead singer is Elvis. It reminds me that actually gave me an idea back in the day that I always wanted to do. I never got around to it. But I had an idea for a song called Marilyn Manson, The Las Vegas Years. And it was going to be, like Marilyn Manson as an old man playing Vegas. And it'd be like, the beautiful people, hey, hey, beautiful people, hey, you're beautiful people. Yeah. Don't forget to tip your waitress on the way out. Beautiful people, hey. Like that kind of a thing, But that's all just silly stuff. G.G. Allen. All right, little known fact about G.G. Allen. First of all, his problem wasn't him. I mean, it became him. It was one of those situations where it went from him doing drugs to the drugs did him. It was the drugs. But he was actually a smart guy. If he wasn't so hardcore into drugs, he probably would have been pretty good. But he let those take over. But anyway, the little known fact about him that's pretty cool. Hey, hello. Hey, you know what? I was talking about you earlier because you're the one who broke the PayPal Patty getting arrested story. And that was the first thing I did when I started this tonight. So welcome. Good to see you in here. But anyway, yeah, I covered so much stuff earlier with the Frauditors that we started talking about music. And now when you came in, we were just talking about G.G. Allen. And what I was going to say is one of the things about him that is kind of funny was that, and this also explains a lot about why he was the way he was. His father was like so hardcore religious, like to the point where like he'd beat the kids if they, did something that he thought was a sin, like whatever, but he was bad. But G.G. Allen's real name actually is, his father named him Jesus Christ Allen. So it was a joke. And he was the only one who knew the joke, though. He would go on talk shows. People would ask him who he was, and he'd say, I'm Jesus Christ. And everyone thought he was insane with this Christ complex. And he was laughing his butt off because he was literally just saying his actual name. So to him, I'm just saying my name, but he knew that they would take it like he was, and he did it on purpose. Anyway, yes. Yeah, look at this. I thought by now it's getting late. People will be coming out. I got people coming in. So hello, welcome everyone. So just a quick wrap up of what we've been doing so far. The first thing I covered was the story of PayPal Patty getting arrested again. And then I did the Chili's live stream from the other day where he went up to some random dude and decided the dude was following him. And then he followed the dude and started literally chasing him, like running circles around the building, trying to find the guy again, and never did. And well, Peck, it's Jesus in Mexico. That's a little bit different, but yeah. But that's not necessarily that ironic either, Peck, because specifically Catholicism is extremely popular in Mexico. So But what was this? Oh, and then after that, we covered Josh Abrams, accountability for all. He went out and called the cops. Like, he called the cops. And then when they showed up, they're like, why'd you call? What's going on? What's going on? He's like, I don't know why there are all these cops here. I just wanted you guys to bring me a FOIA request. Like, that's the cop's job, to bring you a FOIA request. And then, of course, when they didn't have one, he went off and started swearing at them and barking orders at them and literally talking to them like dogs, like, oh, go sit in your car, drive away, and saying that the parking lot they were in was his land because he pays taxes and it was a public place. Get off of my land and do what I tell you to do, and blah, blah, blah. Matthew, Joshua. One of my sons is a Nathaniel. That's a Jewish name, old Jewish name. Let's see. Documentary on Netflix about Gigi Allen. Yeah, that's where I got my information. I was afraid of him when I was a kid. I always said the best. Like, to me, it almost seems like you have to. I don't know, because I don't like really talk to other people about Gigi Allen. Never comes up in daily conversation. But I always looked at him like this. This is, in my head, this is how I'm able to break him down the best. Gigi Allen actually was, for real, in the 80s, what everyone thought Marilyn Manson was in the 90s. I was a junior minister, read the Bible also, but I didn't believe it. Wanted to help the kids in my bad area, and the only people that helped was the church. Yeah, I mean, religion is a whole nother thing. There's a lot of good and a lot of bad, but that goes with anything. When you're dealing with people who actually do, believe in and follow what they're teaching correctly, actually do a lot of good stuff out there. But, just like with the frauditors and these people, there's a million different ways that people can interpret certain things, and they're not always good. Let's see. Just trying to get caught up in the chat. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little lost because there's a lot of stuff going on. Anyway, yes, he does. Yeah, I like your channel a lot because it covers, it does do it in a different perspective. You don't just, rip on these guys like we do, but you actually like say, hey, look, here's the legal stuff. This is what's actually going on. I like that point of view a lot. It's very difficult to try and explain to these people sometimes the reality of what they're doing and why it's wrong. I mean, obviously, some of them literally are only in it for the money. To me, I mean, they're some of the worst, right? Because what they're doing is just so pathetic and abhorrent behavior. But the scary ones are the ones who actually believe in what they're doing. Like, because when you actually believe in something, like, again, not getting into religion or politics or anything, but people have mentioned it in the chat. So, like, people who misinterpret religion in a certain way, going out and doing certain horrible things in the name of their faith, it's kind of the same thing. They're looking at the Constitution and saying, well, it says I'm free to speak. That means I could just walk up to some random person in the street and say, F you piece of crap, and they can't do nothing about it. So that's what I'm going to do because legally I can. No, that's not the way being a human works. Soft-sits have been labeled as domestic terrorists. That's why they hate being called soft-sits now. In fact, that's the best way to get under their skin is to call them a sovereign citizen. They hate that. They hate it. But for me, I found this the other day. Let me see if I can pull it up here. I haven't figured out where I'm going to use it yet. I want to, though. Let me see if I can get it here. Yeah, because like I said, the idea of calling a sovereign citizen is like the worst thing you could say to one of them. They get so offended. But then the way they try to get back at you is by calling you a bootlicker. So I wanted to try and find a way to use this in one of my videos as a response to someone calling me a bootlicker and say, is licking boots really that bad? Because here's someone licking a boot. That don't look so terrible to me. But I haven't figured out a way to use that yet. Let's see. Armed fisherman. Yeah. I covered him in one of my videos. He's what bothers me. Well, okay, first of all, I think the sovereigns are way worse than the flat earthers. Flat earthers are just stupid. They're just dumb. Sovereign citizens, I mean, there have been sovereign citizens that have murdered cops or bit their fingers off and all these horrible things. It's an oxymoron. Yes, so are you. I'd lick her boots. Yeah, exactly. Drop my merch link. Yeah, I can do that. I'll put the link to my merch under my book for you guys. Since I got a request. Let's see. I have my my Ezokai t-shirt, and I also have a t-shirt with a witch on it, and it says there is no expectation of privacy in public, because those are the magic words. Let me get into there, get the link for you. I should always have that up. I should make that a default on my stuff, but I don't know. It's weird, man. I never feel right advertising my own stuff, which I know it sounds weird. Like, it's my stuff. Why not? But I don't want to come off like I'm just a shill. Like, but at the same time, it's like, why not? No. What? I didn't want to do that. Why is that a thing? I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm having a computer issue right now. Looks like last time I did something on here. Basically, what happened was I got a couple of those T-shirts for my kids, and just now when I tried to get the link, it logged me onto their shipment. Nothing wrong with shilling your own merch, bro. Can't sell it if people don't know about it. Yeah, that's a good point. Here it is. Hold on. Okay, so here is my merch store. And then I'll also put a link to my book, The Frauditor's Handbook. See, now I got Rush in my head, which is a good thing. And there's a link to my book. What style of hat is that Perry one? I have two. I've got my summertime Perry the Platypus hat for when it's hot out. And then I have my standard, which is the one for my logo, the winter one. And that's the original Hezekiah hat. There you go. Yeah, it's they don't make this specific one anymore, but the only difference between this one and the new ones is that the buttons at the bottom on the new version are just a string. It's just a string. Tie it. Make it a bot command. I don't know how to do that. I would actually probably I would do that for sure. Because the only thing I know how to do then is to pin it, but I can only pin one. So, like, which one do I pin? The book or the... Oh, all right. Hold on, Peck. Just trying to help you guys out a little bit. Why? Ram a ding dong, tricky dicky thought of a gun. Why? Boom. Let's see. Yeah, Second Amendment. Yeah, see, that's the thing with the Second Amendment auditors, like the armed fishermen, is that it's the same thing. It's literally the same thing, and I covered him on one of my videos too. It's the same thing that the First Amendment auditors do. That is the problem. Like, open carry is legal. Okay, fine. So I'm going to open carry. Good. Fine. What's the problem? There is no problem. Okay, I'm going to open carry specifically to go out of my way to open carry in places where I know for a fact that the cops are going to stop me to ask me if I have a license to open carry. That's a little bit different than just doing it. Like, if he's just, because open carry is legal, he's open carrying, why is he going out of his way to videotape himself going into places that look suspicious when you carry a gun in there on purpose, intentionally? Like, anyway, let's go back to wait a minute. What is this? You know what? There's a ton of them. So I'll let you choose which one you want. So just Google that. No, I can't sell them. That's Disney. I mean, I can design my own hat, but I can't sell Perry the Platypus hats. So I got that from the Disney store. I'm not going to mess with Disney's copyright. They'll kill me. They won't just sue me. They will destroy me. But if you just Google Perry the Platypus winter hat, there's a million of them on Google. He'll walk on the streets till cops get called on him. See, that's the thing, Peck. Like the video I covered with the armed fisherman was specifically the video I covered was there's a beach and there was a fishing area on a pier at the far end of the beach with a parking lot near it. So he purposely goes out of his way to park all the way over on the other side of the beach so that he specifically has to walk all the way across the beach to get to the pier to go fishing, right? Like, okay, so his story, his excuse, the thing that he sells his fans, his false narrative is that, well, I was just going to the pier to go fishing. Open carry's legal when you're fishing or hunting. So I got my big AR-15 strapped to my chest and my fishing pole with a 10-foot flagpole with the "Don't Tread on Me" attached to it to make absolutely certain everyone sees me because I have a big, long flag that draws attention and 10 cameras strapped to me and my big, huge automatic submachine gun, right? Well, you know, whatever, technically AR-15. But the point I'm making is if you're sitting on the beach on vacation and you got your kids there and you're playing, and here comes this guy with this huge 10-foot flagpole and this huge machine gun on his chest and all these cameras everywhere, and the cops stop him, and his whole thing is, I was just walking to the pier to go fishing. What's the big deal? And that's why you parked all the way on the other side of the beach, and that's why you carried that big, huge flag, which is going to draw attention to yourself. You were just innocently walking and just happened to have all this stuff. No. It's so obviously done on purpose. It's so transparent. And the fact that their fans never see it and just buy everything they say as a fact. And they all argue. Well, the guy was just walking to the fishing pier and he happened to have his gun with him. So what? That's not what he did. Watch the video. That's not what he did. He specifically, purposely went out of his way to draw attention to himself and to the fact that he had a gun so that the cops would stop him. That was his goal. Yeah. Again, it's not about why would a person need a weapon to fish? Well, okay, so the excuse for that, and I mean, not just his excuse, but like the reason why the law is written the way it is because this guy, I think he's in Florida. Yeah, he's in Florida. And out here, you know, if you're going by water, what lives in water in Florida? Gators. That's why they said it's legal to carry a gun to go hunting or fishing in Florida, because if you're fishing, you might run into an alligator, and you better have something more than just your fishing pole if you're in a fight with an alligator. So that's why the law's written the way it is, but obviously it wasn't meant for him to use it the way he's using it. In fact, I did another video on him. I didn't cover it. I did it like on a live like this. I didn't, make a video about it, but I did another one of his videos where he's standing on a pier with his AR-15 and all of his cameras, talking to people as they pass by, drawing attention to himself until the cops show up. His fishing pole and his fishing tackle and all of his gear were all the way over on the other side of the pier. Okay? So he's just standing on the pier with an AR-15 strapped to his chest on a bunch of cameras, just waiting for the cops to show up. But as soon as they show up, not only did he scream and yell and holler at them for showing up, even though obviously that was his goal, but then they walked across the pier because he said, well, I'm just here fishing. He said, you don't have any fishing gear. He says, it's on the other side of the pier. So they walk across the other side of the pier and grab his fishing gear. Now he's accusing them of illegal search and seizure. I'm only here fishing. That's why it's okay for me to have a gun. Where's your fishing gear? Over there. So they go over there and grab the fishing gear. Illegal search and seizure. Ha ha. It's a game. It's all a game. These guys are just playing a game and they think it's hilarious. And they think it's great and they're getting paid. They're fans. You watch their live chats and they're throwing all these donations at them. And that's one of the things that one of the many things I hate about Jose de Castro is he keeps saying, I'm not making a bunch of money off of my YouTube channel. And you could go right now, type in anybody's YouTube channel and find out exactly how much money they're making off of their channel. And he always says, you look at my channel, I only made $3,000 off of ads last month. That doesn't count your super chats. That doesn't count your super stickers. That doesn't count all the trifolds you sold. That doesn't count all of the chili posters you sold. That doesn't count all that other money. So you're making it sound like I'm not making any money. I only made this much. But what about all the other stuff? You're only pointing out the stuff that we could go look up ourselves. But not anything else. Oh, man. And that's another thing, too, with these guys, especially now. I mean, literally, like right now. How many mass shootings have there been just in the last week? It's like it's going crazy with this stuff. And these frauditors still have the audacity to be like, why are these cops acting like they're scared? They're scared of a guy with a camera. They're a bunch of cowards. They're scared. There are literally, just watch the news. There are literally people running around everywhere just shooting random people. There's absolutely no reason for the cops to have any concern about anything. I'm just a guy with a camera. How do they know that? You won't identify yourself. You refuse. So how do they know that you have no ill will? Because you said you don't? I'm a murderer. The cops stopped me. I'm going to tell them I'm a murderer? You really think that criminals just admit when they commit crimes? And since in other words, they have to assume you're telling the truth? Seriously? And the best part is anyone who, like us, who actually watches their videos knows that they never tell the truth. You have to lie to fraud it. Schrodinger's cat's number one rule. Yeah, DB Cooper made a good point. He says, dressing up like a mass shooter with a target rifle and body armor with multiple pistols has no legitimate purpose at all. A perfect example of that was the recent arrest of Casey Camera Boy at the bank. Like, okay, once again, if you're looking at their false narrative, right? He was just standing outside with his phone filming. What's the big deal? And once again, you look at the comments, his fans eat it up. All he was doing was standing outside, and he happened to have his camera out. What's the big deal? Well, let's go back a second. Where was he standing? Outside. A bank, all dressed in black, flak jacket, mask on, and a taser that he had it set up in a gun holster to look like a gun. So you're standing in front of a bank, filming the bank, all dressed in black with a flak jacket and a thing that looks like a gun. And there's absolutely no logical reason why anyone might be concerned. And of course, the fans believe that. How can you watch the video and not see what he's doing? Well, exactly. Standing out in front of a bank, looking like a bank robber, to me, is reasonable, articulatable suspicion. And that's the other thing that I love about the RAS. The police always, in every single video I've ever seen where RAS came up, the police did articulate the suspicion clearly. Just because you do not accept what they said doesn't mean they never said it. Can you articulate why you stopped me? Yes, because you have no license plate. Yeah, but where's your reasonable, articulatable suspicion? I just articulated it. I said you have no plates on your car. What are you suspicious of? That you don't have any plates. They seem to believe that there's certain fundamental principles that they always try to sell. And honestly, I don't think they do believe in. The majority of these guys don't even believe in anything. They're just trying to make money, right? But first of all, when it comes to the RAS and the reasonable suspicion and the search and seizure and all that, the word reasonable. All right, take it easy, Keith. It has to be reasonable, right? So that's number one. Like Anselmo loves to say that any kind of security machine or x-ray machine or metal detector is a violation of the Fourth Amendment. It would be a violation of the Fourth Amendment if it was unreasonable. Asking you to walk through there before you enter a courtroom is not unreasonable. All you have to do is 5 seconds of research to see how many people have been shot in courtrooms. That is a thing. That's why it is reasonable to have a metal detector in a courthouse. I like what Peck just said. I'm Australian, and I've been watching Soft Sits and Otters for years, and I'm pretty sure I know U.S. law better than they do. Absolutely. What got me about Armed Fisherman was that he was confronted about providing propaganda to gun control activists. He said, I don't care about that stuff. I'm getting paid. Yep. Community service. Yeah. Oh, and in case you came in after this too, I said this earlier. Now looking at the time, wow, it was like 3 hours ago. I mentioned this earlier. I was just, before I came on, I actually was in the chat room of Rogue Nation's live feed. And it was like a Frauditor smorgasbord. That's why I was watching it, because there was so much going on. Erie County was there. Cache Valley was there. Rogue, of course, was there. It was his stream. They were all in there, and either on the panel or in the chat. And one of the things that they were saying was, oh wait, what was I? What was I? Dagnabbit. I was gonna make a point. I lost my mind for a second. I don't know. They were talking about what was I gonna see? The problem is I had an idea based on that I wanted to respond to something someone said in the chat, but now I lost the original thing I was going to respond to, and now I'm thinking, well, what was I going to say? Like, what did that have to do with it? It's amazing how Glenda's been quiet for so long. Well, yeah, it's because he got in trouble, like actual trouble. So he's on probation and he doesn't want to screw up. Okay, first of all, with the whole Poster 7 thing, something about Rogue Nation. Yeah, it wasn't about him. It was about something that was said during the stream. But I couldn't remember what it was that they said specifically that I wanted to refer to. The biggest problem with Poster 7, and I have an entire chapter about this in my book, The Frauditor's Handbook. The biggest problem with Poster 7 is that even the average postal employee doesn't understand Poster 7. And it makes sense because, one, it's on the wall, so it's not that major of importance that everyone who works there knows it, because if they need it, it's right there on the wall to read. The other thing is they have to work. They can't just sit there and read Poster 7 because maybe someday some random idiot with a camera might walk in. Like, that doesn't happen. If these auditors weren't doing that, that would never happen. And well, what if the actual media showed up? Well, when that happens, they show up. Like, they do their thing and they do it properly. They don't just randomly walk in there. Usually if the press shows up at a post office, it's because somebody got shot or something happened. Well, okay, so Leanne, the problem with Poster 7 is that, and you could get it online, there's the actual rules and regulations of the post office. It's a book. It's like this thick. You can't have the entire book posted all over because it's too much. So Poster 7 is like a summary of what's in the book, but the books are the actual rules. And the actual rule is, like, they try to find ways around the way it's worded in Poster 7, but what Poster 7 is talking about is a specific rule that you are not allowed to film transactions with employees, which is one of the reasons why they go out of their way to buy one stamp and film it, because they're specifically not supposed to film that interaction. So they go out of their way to make sure they do. I've actually audited a post office. I actually did a post office audit to prove a point that if you ask for permission, guess what? That's all I had to do. That's all I had to do was ask. And they were like, oh, yeah, go ahead. And that was it. I should have a Poster 7 emote. That's not a bad idea. Put that in for my channel members. Just a mini version of that paragraph from Poster 7. That's a cool idea. I like that. Poster 7 doesn't even say that they can record the walls. No, I mean, it's everything about it is just insane. And again, I think the whole reason they use it is because they know that so many people that work for the post office don't just sit around memorizing poster 7 all day. They're working, they're doing their job. And again, this is my theory, and I laid it out in my book, the Frauditor's Handbook. The whole thing with the poster 7 thing is based on a couple things. First of all, the people who work in the post office are trying to do their job. They're not trying to spend their whole day memorizing one section of one poster that never comes up. Second, it is posted. But also, during their training, they're told about poster 7, and they're told recording's not allowed. So what happens is, especially if they've been there for a while, so you've been working at the post office for 15 years, vaguely somewhere in the back of your mind, you might remember that somebody told you at some point that filming's not allowed there, which is why when a frauditor walks in with a camera, the first thing they say is, hey, you can't film here. But then they start going, oh, well, poster 7 says I can. And then you get them all discombobulated because in their head, they remember somebody told them you can't record, but they don't know the specifics because they don't have time to Poster 7 is based on a federal regulation. Yes, interested bystander, I was just talking about that, how the actual rules and regulations of the post office is like a whole book of rules. They can't just have that posted. It's too much. So poster 7 is like a summary version of that. It's not supposed to be the be all end all. It's just a summary. Well, DB, again, those are all targets that are easy. If you talk in circles, again, like with the whole poster 7 thing, they always go out of their way just to quote the first part of the paragraph, right? Because that supports their narrative, not the actual rest of the paragraph that breaks down their narrative into dust. But there's more to it than that. These guys are a very well organized group. Okay, and they know what they're doing. Like I said, some of them believe in it, some don't, but they know what it is. And by specifically going out of their way to memorize the first half of the paragraph, it isn't just that that's the half of the paragraph that supports their narrative. It's because they know that the average postal employee hasn't memorized that. So when they can recite it verbatim, and they tell them, look at poster 7, it says that I can record. It says this. And then they start reading it, and you start yapping in their ear, word for word, exactly the same thing that they're reading. That's going to make it click in their brain. Hey, wait a minute. Maybe this guy's right. Maybe this guy knows what he's talking about. I mean, he's saying word for word the same thing it says on the poster, and they never finish reading because by that point, they got you. Right? It's all part of the game. Right? There's all these different little chess pieces, and they all know all the moves. You know, that's why you could always tell the newbie frauditors, because they will actually read poster 7 properly, or they'll not have it memorized. But it's all these targets. And again, now they're starting more and more and more to lean towards these targets that are completely outside of the government, that have absolutely nothing to do with the First Amendment or government transparency. Hey, I'm going to go audit the Apple store today. Hey, I'm going to go audit Barnaby's Deli on the corner. Like, it's just to push and push and push to get that negative reaction from the police. That's their money shot. And if you don't believe me, just go to some of their channels and look at some of their thumbnails. It's always a picture of a cop with something about watch this tyrant get owned, or watch me destroy this tyrant, or watch me educate this idiot. And if they don't get a cop, then they'll pick some picture of a random citizen that they harassed and say, if it's a girl, they'll say, look at this Karen get schooled. Or if it's a boy, they'll say, look at this snowflake get destroyed. Some nonsense like that. They go out of their way to cause a negative interaction. Their ultimate goal is to get a negative interaction from the cops, because then they can file a lawsuit and try to steal our tax dollars, because that's what would pay the lawsuit if they won. Yes, a lot of retaliation, a lot of all this crap. The Oath Keepers. Yes, excuse me. Hold on. um, yeah, DB. I think, like I said, I mean, I think they can be chopped up into different categories, but generally, I think there's two, right? People who actually believe in what they're doing, like anarchists, and people who just, thank you, Leanne, who just see it as a way to make a quick buck on YouTube. They don't actually care about any of that stuff. They don't care about the laws. They don't care about the amendments. Um, they don't care about anarchy. They don't care about any about that. They just know that this is a quick, easy way to get paid. Oh, all I got to do is put on my phone and go be a dick. I'm a dick anyway. Now I could get paid for being a dick and filming it. And that's it. That's all it is. The granddaddy of frauditing. Yeah. There was a big debate on Accountability for All's channel last week, I think it was, between James Freeman and Chili de Castro. And it was depressing because James Freeman is so nuts. There were some things that Chili said that actually made sense within the context of arguing with James Freeman. They made sense. But, I mean, you talk about an anarchist. Holy crap, that guy is way off the rails. And here's the thing. When I was a teenager, I went through a phase where I was into that whole, like, yeah, those stupid, oh, wait a minute. Keith's going to split. Yeah. Have a good night, Keith. Good seeing you. Good luck. Wait a minute. You have to teach a prep class in 7 hours. It's the weekend, ain't it? Well, I don't know where you live. Maybe it's going to be Monday or you're prepping them on Sunday. Okay. Hey, I don't know. Oh, I like your commentary and your videos and your reactions. Peace. All right, Emma, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But yeah, speaking of which, it's almost 5 o'clock in the morning out here. So I'm going to have to wrap this up. Thank you guys all again for coming out. I appreciate it very much. I'll try to do it earlier next time, but it was kind of nice to have, like, I didn't think anyone was going to show up this late. And I ended up doing a 4-hour stream because I got a nice good group here. A lot of my favorite people showed up. So thank you all again for coming out. I'm gonna start coming up with a more regular schedule to stop doing these lives. No, don't apologize for keeping me up. I love hanging out with you guys. It's fun for me. Okay, see, wait a minute. Now, interested bystander just brought something up. Okay, so here's one of my problems with that whole idea, right? This is what I was going to say. Like, when I was a teenager, I sort of had this idealistic view of things. Like, well, if there were no laws, it would be cool because we wouldn't have to worry about. And like the excuse that you always hear from them, but the fact of the matter is, there are people in the world who are going to be punching you in the face. And if you say, well, I don't like you doing that, they're just going to stop and say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you wouldn't like that. I'll leave you alone. There are people in the world that will bust your door down and take your TV and rape your wife. That happens. It does. So if there were no cops and no laws, those people would just stop doing that? It's delusion to believe that. The only way it would work is if literally everybody just decided to be a good person. But guess what? If literally everybody just decided to be a good person, there wouldn't be a problem anyway. It wouldn't even be a discussion. All right. Anyway, I'll be back again. I need a more regular schedule for this. This was a last minute thing, but I'm glad y'all came out. I'm glad y'all did it. I've got to go to bed. I got to get up in a few hours. Go call the feeling police. Yeah, exactly. If anyone ever says the word feel, oh, you're a feeling police. Anyway, I've been stabbed more than a few times. Well, you live in Australia, though. That's just par for the course. No, yeah, I'm actually asleep right now. This is a dream. Yeah, there are people who do bad things no matter what. And without any control at all, it would just be nuts. Like, you have to assume that. Okay, see, now I got to go back into it, because this is one of the things that James Freeman was saying during his big debate with Chile was like, okay, so if there was no government and no taxes and no anything, who'd build the roads? Oh, well, I would just build my own road. Well, how would you stop somebody from speeding down the road and running over your child? Well, I'll put in speed bumps. It's like, okay, so now you have an entire construction crew at your beck and call that will work for free, or you're going to get out there with a shovel and literally build a road. No, that's not going to happen. Anyway, enough is enough. Love you guys. Thank you for coming out. I've got to go. It's so late. It's not even late anymore. It's morning now. It's Sunday morning. So I guess I'm just going to go get my day started. All right. Thank you guys again for coming out, and I will see you later. And as I always say at the end of all my streams, oh, yay, yay, yay.